Welcome to the channel and welcome to this game of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. It's Skaven versus Stormcast Eternals and Cities of Sigmar. So today we return to Excelsis in our narrative campaign, The Siege of Excelsis. Now, this is a standalone game, so you can watch this without having seen any of the others. But if you are interested in following the story, the previous 9 episodes are in the catalogue on the channel. In the thing where you find videos, yes, it's there. In this campaign, we are playing through the story from the Kragnos book, the Broken Realms book that was released at the end of 2nd edition. And here is the story. I nearly dropped it. So far, the meagre preparations that the Grand Conclave had ordered to be put in place in the light of the rumours of an oncoming Orruk War had been abandoned, sidetracked or even sabotaged as the turmoil of the last few months grew to a head. The city, still at war with itself over whether the use of magic was a godly act, tried to concentrate on multiple things at once, and hence ended up doing none of them. With the Tzeentchian invasion still in living memory, it would have been easy to imagine the city pulling together in the face of the coming adversary, but in most of the city's districts, quite the opposite was true. Excelsis was swiftly falling apart. In places, the better side of human nature saw people working together for each other's benefit. In the long weeks since the night of the Skaven uprising, human bucket chains had relayed seawater from the harbour to the worst affected zones. Everything from soup tureens to wheelbarrows to the waxed sealed craniums of long-dead gargants were used as receptacles in the ongoing fight to keep the blazes at bay. Gate taxation doubled, then tripled, until merchants and traders were bled white, added to the proceeds of exported glimmerings mined at a frantic pace. The city brought in as much wealth as it could muster, yet the coffers were emptied almost as soon as they were filled, spent on the employment of Dwarden earthworkers to dot the grounds outside the walls with mobile artillery emplacements, Caradron fleets to patrol the skies, and mercenaries of 100 different stripes. Among the privateers who usually plied the coast of Tusks were barbarian warriors, fire slayers from Blaze Roar Isle across the clawing sea, and even a trio of Shaishian necromancers who claimed to have renounced Nagash's diktats to better study the resurrection of monstrous beasts. When a 100-strong company of Ogre sellswords made harbour from the south, claiming to have heard the plight of Excelsis' plight, and being more than happy to take advantage of it, the paymasters of the city made haste to strike a deal. In exchange for each Ogre receiving a barrel of meat and ale every day, they would fight back the Orruks in the event of a breach of the city walls. The paymasters pushed their luck somewhat by combining the food and drink in the same barrel, but the result was so delicious that the Ogres let it slide. The Knights Excelsior were never still, working in concert with the Order of Azir and the more hardline Free Guild companies. They tirelessly hunted down the last of the Skaven that had infiltrated the city during Ratachak's assault, incinerating their warrens in controlled burns that, whilst a stalwart defence against corruption, only added to the palls of smoke wreathing the city. Meanwhile, their Lord Castellans assisted in fortifying the city's walls, draping the most well-defended towers and strongpoints with banners that depicted grimacing gargoyles and armoured griffins, images that might intimidate a normal foe, but would act as a red rag to the raging bull in the orc psyche. Earthworks, spiked pits, and even transplanted copses of trees ensured the ground outside the city would funnel the invaders into carefully prepared killing fields, and the training grounds echoed day and night to the sound of musket and cannon fire. Many in the house veins was turned into a sniper's nest or an ammunition store, Bridges over alleyways were remade to include murder holes, and household stairs were rigged to hold the weight of a human, but collapsed to a pantry full of stakes should an Uruk try to gain them. Every man, woman and child over the age of 10 was expected to fight if needed, and with the vast majority of citizens being of Gurish stock, there were very few who sought to shirk this duty. The presence of the Scourge privateers in Excelsis was vital, for not only did they have a vast fleet of ships to call upon, they also had a way of corralling the sea monsters that lurked along the coastline, thereby forming an unusual but very effective barrier to any who would invade Excelsis by sea. They were as much a part of the city as the fisherfolk who fed it, or the Stormcast Eternals who fought for it every day. They had stained their decks red time and time again while sailing along the coast of Tusks, the Talon coast, and even the Moorblack Bight. To elves who had harpooned a leviathan or faced down a hunkering gyre shark, the tattered band of humans were no real threat. Small wonder then, for those fools who assailed elves on shore leave, thinking their numbers and nullstone amulets would tip the balance, were soon found amputated, flayed, or even staked to the city walls as a warning to their fellows. The message was intended to be stark: leave the Scourge alone or suffer the same fate. Unfortunately, it merely added to the further fuel to the fires of strife, and became the self-perpetuating cycle that led to even closer to civil war. It was the Nullstone Brotherhood that claimed victory in the end, however, as one bright morning the ships of the Scourge privateers simply sailed away, leaving the harbour and the coast section of the city with only the thinnest of defences. Excerpts there from the Kragnos book, and that's the part of the story that we come to in this particular game. This is the campaign of eradication of the Skaven that the Knights Excelsior and the Free Guilds undertake. So we are very much in Skaven eradication mode. This is where the Skaven have gone to ground and constructed some of the horrific war machines and are waging an ongoing campaign. The Knights Excelsior snuffing out the pockets of resistance one at a time, and they have found one here. And I'm joined on the channel for this game by Morton Joe. Say hi, Morton Joe.
Hi, Morton Joe.
You're back again.
We're back again.
Yes. You're going to try and kill some more Skaven.
Kill Skaven. That's the plan. Root them out. Eradication.
You sounded quite like a Skaven when you said that. Kill Skaven.
They're infectious, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes. Not today. No, we are Knights Excelsior in Morton Joe today, not Skaven.
Not Skaven. No. So we're playing a custom scenario, aren't we? We've been talking long and hard about how this is going to work, because there are some rules in the Kragnos book called Streets of Death, and we'll go through those rules actually now. So the this has an attacker and a defender. So you are the attacker with the Forces of Order.
Definitely.
I, as the Chaos player, am the defender.
Being sneaky and hiding.
Now, on the table, we've got some little objective markers. These are just visual aids because the control of these markers is not around the victory. So we have a number of garrisonable buildings on the table. And they are all the ones that sit outside of Joe's territory are all infested with Skaven. And Joe's job is to uninfest them with Skaven. So in terms of territories, it's table quarters. The Forces of Order are coming in from this table quarter, and the rest is Skaven territory. Now the Skaven are going to deploy their physical troops. Well, they're all physical. The things
that are on the board.
Things that are on the board. Thank you. Yes, you're definitely helping with the words. Things that are on the board are going to be on the far side of the Sewer River. So this is a gummed up, skanky river. It's exactly where the Skaven of Clan Pestilens have been drawn to, and they are holed up in this, what is now a ruined section of the warehouse district. So this is the Skaven territory, but we're going to be deploying on this side of the river. Now, there are a couple of different rules. One is called bricks and stones. Every garrisonable building inside my territory has got some kind of Skaven in it. And in my shooting phase, I can throw bricks and stones at a nearby enemy unit. On a 5+, they take D3 mortal wounds. That's how that works. So, on my turn, if Joe has a unit here, I can say, this building, this is one building, bricks and stones, dice 5 up, D3 mortal wounds. There are 7 garrisonable buildings. So we're making a slight tweak to the rule in the book, in that the main rule book says that a normal-sized garrisonable building can take 15 models. We're saying it can take 20 Skaven, because most of my units are 20 in size. It would create lots of logistical issues with the game to not do that. So we're doing that. So that's an uncleared house can throw stones and bricks. The way that that Joe can clear them is by garrisoning the building. He garrisons the building. It's no longer a Skaven building. I can't get it back at any point. I am done with it. It's dead to me. Or I'm dead to them. Something like that. There are 7 buildings on the table. Clearing the buildings is the measure of victory. If Joe clears 3 buildings, it is a minor victory to the forces of order. If he clears 5 buildings, it is a major victory. And the inverse is true from my perspective. Now, there's a couple of other special rules. I get to... the narrow streets are very dangerous. Wherever the streets are roughly 4 inches wide, we haven't measured exactly everything, but we know which ones are going to count. Any unit that has either a mount or is a monster that runs or charges in between buildings like that, they roll the dice. On a 1, they take a mortal wound as they crash into buildings, chimney stacks, roof tiles, and the like. It's close quarter fighting, and it's dangerous to them. Now, the biggest rule is my sneaky deployment. So I can put any number of units in reserve I like, and then I nominate any unit for them to be hidden in without Joe's knowledge. He doesn't get to know. He doesn't get to know what's where. No, he doesn't. Kick man thing. So he'll be out the room, and I'll be going, this unit's in there, that unit's in there, and I can put into any unit in my territory. Now, bear in mind, of course, my territory is 3/4 of the table. So whilst my starting foot troops are going to be over here, I could well have a unit in there, a unit in here, a unit in there. And the only way Joe will know that is by trying to clear the building, and he gets repulsed at that point, and will then have to attack the building as a garrison building in order to clear me out. Slight tweak to the rule, we're saying that when he has cleared, if in the attack in which he kills the last Skaven, he automatically garrisons the building. Otherwise, it would take a turn to move up, then attack, then garrison, and wouldn't be able to get some of the buildings that are further into my zone. I think that's all of it. A couple of shout-outs. The mat and the warehouse buildings and these buildings and the planky walkways, they are all from Urban Mats. The well thing is GameMat.eu. This angel statue is March of War. The sewer river is Deep Cut Studios. And the trees are from the Model Tree Shop. I think that's all the shout-outs. Right. Do you think I've forgotten anything?
No. Shall we go on to the armies?
Okay, let's take a look at the armies. So here we have 2,500 points of Cities of Sigmar and Stormcast Eternals. Should have mentioned that it was 2,500 points. I think I forgot that. The other thing to mention at this point is, at the time of filming, we know there's been a new Cities of Sigmar book announced, and it may, but we don't know exactly when it's going to come out. By the time this gets released, they may have had a new battle tome update. So we don't know what the changes are going to be, so please bear that in mind, that when you're watching this, it is the older battle tome that we're going off. Okay, so we're treating this as a Stormcast Eternal Stormkeep army with allies. I know we haven't got the ratios quite right numbers wise, but it fits narratively, so this is what we're doing and what we're happy with. In terms of generic rules, the Stormcast obviously have Blaze of Glory, so when they die we roll a number of d6 equal to their wounds. Enemy units within an inch will take a mortal wound on a roll of a 6 as the spirit flies up towards Azir and electrocutes nearby baddies in the process. Also, there is the trait for the Knights Excelsior Storm Host, which I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure Joe's about to tell me.
Storm of Annihilation.
Storm of Annihilation. So, in the combat phase, Joe picks a paladin unit, and there's a couple on the board that we can go through, and picks an enemy unit, and if the enemy unit outnumbers the paladin unit, the paladins get +1 to hit and +1 to wound. Joe is nodding in the yeah, you got it right, Paul, you got it right. I'm like, yay.
Nodding's not good for radio.
No. So the rules are specific for the Stormkeep. So there's a couple of rules for this. Cities of Sigmar units that are with nearby Redeemer units get +1 to their bravery. Now there are a few Redeemer units here. We'll call those out as and when that becomes relevant. The Redeemer units are the key here, actually. When they are within range of an objective, it depends where the objective is on the battle rounds. Enemy units charging them may take mortal wounds. They also count as 3 models for purposes of scoring objectives, but that obviously won't apply because we're not using standard objectives, that we're doing sort of building clearing. But if they are near an thingied building, an uncleared building, and they get charged, we will treat that as them being on that objective, and the mortal wound possibility will apply. So in terms of what we are looking at, if we go through what we're looking at, and then we'll go through all the enhancements and stuff afterwards. So the Free Guild contingent, well, the Cities of Sigmar contingent, there is a Free Guild General and 2 units of Free Guild Guard. Again, not sure how these will differ in the new book. Presumably they'll have new models, I don't know. That's what I imagine is going to happen because these are super old. Anyway, Free Guild General, 2 units of 20, 1 with halbards, 1 with shields. So these guys get, I think it's a +1 to wound, I think. I can't quite remember. And these get an extra save. The shields give them a 4+ save, which is super good. A unit of Demigryph Knights with lances. 3 is the minimum size, that's units of 6, it's reinforced. They get extra damage and extra rend on the charge with their lances. Then, as some ranged backup, there is a unit of 10 handgunners, a unit of 10 crossbowmen, and not technically Free Guild, more frothing lunatics who want to try and kill all wizards and elves and anyone vaguely off-putting. We have 2 units of 10 flagellants. Members in this narrative, they are members of the Nullstone Brotherhood, who are they just want to purge. I can make a film about them, call it the Purge.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. In fact, sorry, brain going off in weird directions there. Okay, and that's roughly what it's exactly 1,120 points of Cities of Sigmar. The rest is Stormcast. The general is a Lord Relictor. This city is the home of the Knights Excelsior, so many warrior chambers will be here. These are one of the lords of the warrior chambers. There will be a lot of these guys running around, purging as much as they possibly can. We have a unit of 5 Retributors. Now, they are paladins, so they can use the special rule, but they are battle line troops in Knights Excelsior. We have a unit of 5 Sequitors. These are sacrosanct, so they have special rules that allow them to channel their magic either into attack or defense. We'll go through the detail of that as and when it happens. We have 5
crossbow judicators.
Judicators. That was the word I was being stuck on with crossbows. Does one of them have the big crossbow?
The prime does, yes.
Yes, big crossbow. Okay, on the prime. Then looks like a unit of 5 liberators here. Another 5 liberators. 3 castigators, who are the shooty sacrosanct ones. They can also use their magic to do different things. I think it's either increase the rend or increase something else.
I think it's increase the power, which increases the rend, or increase the accuracy, which is +1 to hit.
Yeah, so we'll cover that as that becomes relevant. Then over here on the right we have 2 concussors on. These are Dracoth cavalry from the Extremis chamber. Or is it the Exemplar chamber? The Extremis chamber. The Extremis chamber. Now, technically, these aren't paladins, but they are, in every sense, other than having the keyword, they are paladins and little baby dragons. So we are treating them as having the paladin keyword for the purposes of army special rules because it makes sound narrative sense to us.
I think Games Workshop say they're not paladins, so people can still have friends, I think.
Yes, because otherwise yes. Very well put, sir. Very well put, yes. And then a unit of 6 prosecutors with the dual hammers. They are a ranged weapon. They conjure those hammers out of thin air, out of azurite air, and then throw them. And when they go, throw my hammer away, they just conjure another one. So they get to throw at quite short range, and then they get lots of attacks in melee. I do like prosecutors. A lot of people are quite down on them, but that's because the unit size inexplicably is 3. Yeah. And a unit of 3 of them is terrible. If you read the book, the standard size for a retinue of any Stormcast is 10. And if you use these in big units, they're good. Yeah. They are good. So that's what the army has in it. So what is the command trait of the Generalissimo?
So the command trait for the Lord Relictor is called Envoy of the Heavens. So he is the beating heart of the army. So whenever a friendly Stormcast dies within 12 inches of him, that unit then gets to add 1 to their saving rolls for the rest of the phase. So
okay.
So if a Skaven throws some shurikens at him or some plague globes or whatever it is, if it kills one, the rest in the unit will be buoyed up by the Lord Relictor.
+1 save.
+1 save.
Nice. Okay. So who has the artifact of power, the Stormwrought artifact?
So the Lord Relictor has the Stormwrought artifact. He has the Drake scale armor.
Right.
So that means if any attack is targeted against him that does 2 damage or more, he gets to re-roll his save roll.
Okay.
So it is it's made from dragon scales.
Cool. Better keep him away from those guys. They might be a bit annoyed. He's wearing Derek!
I like to think that it was less of him hunting them down. It was more of gifted to him.
Yeah. Derek said I could have his skin when he died. Yeah. Okay, so, well, really. Quite. So he's a priest. We won't go through the standard prayers or the one on his war scroll, but has he taken one from the
prayer scriptures?
Prayer scriptures. What's he got?
He's taken translocation.
Okay.
So there's fights going on all throughout this city. So we're stretched thin. So translocation allows the Lord Relictor to basically transport his allies through bolts of lightning across the battlefield. In game terms, I get to pick a unit, I believe, within 18 inches, and drop them 9 inches away from any enemy model.
Oh, sweet. So you get to sort of lightning teleport them up, then back down.
Exactly. A bolt of lightning comes from the heavens, engulfs a unit, and then another strike across the field drops them off.
It's a little bit like sending an email to someone sat next to you on the sofa. It goes via Silicon Valley and then back into their phone.
Just like sat on the sofa. It's like you just hear a chuckle from across the room.
Okay, cool.
The
Do you have
Holy
a
Command.
Holy Command enhancement?
Yes. So the Holy Command, I believe, is called Call for Aid.
Okay.
So this is a Stormkeep army, so there won't be any lightning strikes from other units. However, the Lord Relictor can send a message up to Azir in times of great need, and reinforcements can arrive. So what that means is, when a Redeemer unit is destroyed, I can spend a command point, and I can call down a replacement unit.
Is that once per game?
Once per game.
Once per game. So that would be either the Sequitors or the Liberators or the Liberators.
Correct.
Okay. And they deploy outside 9, presumably?
Exactly.
Yeah, usual shtick. Yeah. Okay. Well then, that looks like a really... I'm loving the theme of this.
Yeah.
This in and amongst all the buildings and stuff. It looks really cool. Right. Let's have a look at the Skaven. And here we have 2,500 points of Skaven. It's a lot. I don't know what I was thinking. It's a lot of rats. So, right then. So we have, nice and simple first of all, 6 units of 20 clan rats. I like bigger units, just generally in games of AoS, all war games actually, but they won't fit the buildings if they are bigger units. So there's 6 units of that many. Also from Clan Verminous, we have a bigger rat with a spiky sword, whose name I can't remember.
Clawlord?
Clawlord, thank you. I was going to say Warlord, but I thought that doesn't sound right. Okay, then in the middle we have the Clan Pestilence contingent. We have a Plague Priest on a Plague Sensor Burner. A Plague Sensor Furnace. And that is the Army General. I'll come back to what he does in a minute. Then we have 2 units of 20 Plague Monks. 1 unit with the big sticks, the other unit with the 2 knives. There are 2 more Plague Priests, differentiated by the different model. One's got a big flail, one's got a stick. Then 2 units of 5 Plague Sensor Bearers. These things, I can't remember if they buff nearby units or they get buffed by them, but there's a proximity buffing going on there. And the last of the Clan Pestilence contingent is a Plague Claw Catapult, which does not need to see its target, because I can just fling filth from a distance. I need like 8 more of those because it's funny. Then over here we have the Clan Skyer contingent. We have a Warlock Engineer, 1 Rattling Gun, 1 Warpfire Cannon. These will be going in units that can take them. I mean, it's going to be in the Clan Rats. We've said that it's fine for them to be in a building as well. Technically, if we're saying 20, but 2 Clan Rats. But, to make life easier and keep it fun, that's what we're going to do. A unit of 3 Jezzails to shoot things. Yes. A Doom Wheel. Who would be crazy enough to drive a contraption like that around these narrow streets? Only a Yogurt or Skaven. A unit of 15 Acolytes with the gas pumps.
Whatever they throw them at is going to become the consistency of yogurt.
Yeah. And then a Vermintide Endless Spell. That's what's in the army. There's extra detail, of course. There's the generic Skaven stuff. One is they have the ability to fight in multiple ranks, the Endless Tide of Skaven. For every 10 models in the unit, they can add an inch to the range of their melee weapons to a maximum of 3 inches. So the more there are, the more they sort of clamber over each other to get the stabbing in. They also have Lead from the Back. and units that are in the same way that it's harder to hit a hero if they're nearby a unit from with shooting. It's harder to hit them in melee as well if they're near a unit. It's -1. And then also, one of my favourites is the one I've forgotten the name of, but basically when you select a hero to fight, instead of fighting with them, you can perform a retreat move.
Is it Scurry Away?
Scurry Away, yeah. It's like, you keep them busy! Scurry, scurry! Yes. Now, there are special rules for Verminous, Pestilens, and Scryer. Verminous, they have a special heroic action they can perform, which gives them access to command traits that they don't have. So, in the hero phase, this chap, if he wants to, can take his pick out of the command traits, assuming no one else is doing a heroic action. Clan Pestilens, their thing is when they're trying to chant a prayer, if there's another priest within 13 inches of them, they get +1 to chant. And if the result of the chanting roll is a 6, in addition to the effect of the prayer, they get to enact one of the Great Plagues. And they are all pretty nasty and once per game. But because I've got 3 priests and they might all be close to each other, that might be going off on a 4+ each turn. You don't have to use the Great Plague. You can save them for later. But they're all pretty horrific. Yeah. And Clan Scryer, their thing is you start with D3 + 3 Warpstone Sparks. I've already rolled for it, got a 1, I have 4 Warpstone Sparks. Heroes can eat the Warpstone or use the Warpstone, sing the Warpstone, and they get extra abilities. They can either use it in the hero phase to assist spellcasting. I think it's a reroll it gives you. In the shooting phase, to give power to a nearby unit, increase their damage by 1. Or in the fight phase, to get +1 to wound to a nearby unit. But after they have consumed a Warpstone Spark, you roll the dice. On a 1, they take D3 mortal wounds. People who've seen the previous videos will have first-hand evidence of this occurring. So that's what I got. That's the generic stuff. Anything that appears on War Scrolls, we'll cover those off as we go through them because it takes super long time. Specific things. So my command trait is called Ridden with Poxes. So the priest on the giant plague sensor is ridden with poxes. At the end of the combat phase, every enemy model within 3 inches, you roll a dice. On a 4+, they take D3 mortal wounds. I mean, if I'm in combat with those Stormcasts, I don't think I'm going to be alive at the end of that phase, but we shall see. He also has a plague artifact, the Blade of Corruption. Pick one of his weapons, and it's going to be the guy's personal weapons. I don't think it's appropriate to say it's the flail or the spikes. It's going to be his personal weapon. And on a roll to hit of a 6, it becomes Rend 3, damage 6.
Okay.
Plaguey. Now, Joe, I could tell from his face that he was about to go, that's gross, but then he is famous for running Terrorgeists that do exactly the same thing. And I mean, famous. Yeah. Then there's the prayers and the spells. So, the simple way, there's 3 Pestilens prayers, so I've taken 1 each for him. The general has got Filth. You play it on a unit within 13 inches, they get +1 to wound. The guy with the flail has got Disease. Pick an enemy unit within 13 inches, roll 1 dice for every model in that unit. And Joe has got some big units, and every 5+ does a mortal wound. Then the other guy has Rabid. Pick a unit within 13 inches, they gain +1 attack. And lastly, but not leastly, the Warlock has more warp power, which can placed on a unit within 13 inches has to be cast on another clan Scryer unit. They get +1 to hit and +1 to wounds, but at the end of my next hero phase, they suffer D3 mortal wounds as the warp power momentarily it invigorates them, but then consumes them. But to be fair, he's going to just be resummoning the Vermintide because I've only just painted it and I want it to run around the streets. Good, it's cool. That's why I had to have him in the list. I didn't have him in the first cut of the list, but then I realised that they couldn't summon the thing because that's a spell, not an invocation. So, hence, boom, Warlock. And that is 2,500 points for Skaven. And Joe looks like he's about to cry.
I was just going to say, please don't say that is it.
That's it.
Is that it? Is that all?
Well, to be fair, these are only clan rats.
Yeah.
They are pretty weak. They should be easily sweepable. I really do need to gang up on you in big numbers to do anything with those. These are quite tasty, quite fighty. You want to kill these off. And these are just random AF.
Yeah.
So, it could be super nasty scary, but actually the 7 buildings, they're all kind of going to be full. It's not going to feel that much when I deploy it.
It'll be good fun, I think.
Yeah. Of course, I can get out of any of the buildings I'm hidden in if I really want to.
I mean, Skaven are known for their bravery.
Yes. I mean, if there's a nearby bigger rat who can herd them forward, that may well happen. If not, no, we stay here. Or possibly, I mean, maybe there's 40 rats in one of those buildings and they just push the weakest 20 out.
Just the runts.
Yeah. And on that note, let's go on to deployment. And here we are after deployment. So, on the Sigmar side, we have at the front we have a unit of Liberators and Flagellants ready to storm across the bridge. We can just walk across the water. It's just aesthetic at this point. With Retributors and Prosecutors also in that front line ready to push forward, with the Judicators backing them up with the ranged firepower, and Secretors and Concussors ready to weave their way through this nest of Vipers over here. Yes. And over here we have Liberators and Flagellants ready to storm into this building, keeping 3 inches away, even though technically it's still in the territory, because buildings count as enemy models. That's what we've chosen to do here. In the centre, we have a block of Free Guild, the Free Guild Commander, the Halberdiers, and the Rifles, with the Lord Relictor. And over on the left flank, we have the Demigryph Knights ready to charge forward, with the Sword and Shield, Crossbowmen, and the unit of Castigators. Joe, what was your rationale for where you put where?
Okay, so the very first thing that I put on the board were the Flagellants at the furthest point closest towards the enemy.
Jolly good.
Followed up by the Liberators to try and keep them in check and give them some support. Then after that, there was very little thought that actually went into it, and it was more of a case of where can I put my models?
Finding space.
But there was a little bit of gaming behind it. So the Relictor and the Free Guild General are next to each other. It's a joint operation, so I thought have them next to each other. The Relictor is within range of almost every unit, so he could potentially
do his thing,
relocate one of them. And other than that, it was just pick some units and pick a direction they're going to head in. So the Demigryph Knights and the Retributors probably going to go towards these buildings. These are the fast units that are centrally located. They can go any which way, but loose. And then these Flagellants and the Liberators heading into that building.
No prizes for guessing where they're going.
And the Secretors and the Concussors, much the same. Probably heading over to that cluster of buildings over there.
So they're a bit of a team there.
Yep.
Okay. Right, so from a Skaven perspective, it does look a lot smaller than it did. So I wanted all the plague stuff together. So I've got the Furnace and a unit of monks either side of it. A unit of censer bearers either with the monks either side, and a priest, one there and one there, with each of those units, so they're all sort of together as a really insane plague force rushing forward. The catapult is back here. I did contemplate putting it in this corner, but it really won't hit many things for most of the game, so it's gone back thither rather than hither. The Skyer contingent, we've got the Warlock up here who's ready to be able to cast spells to buff the Jezzails and or summon a tide of vermin through the streets. The Doom Wheel is just going to splash its way through the river somewhere over here to try and find some carnage. And I can now begin to tell you where everything else is. He needs to leave though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
But no. Bye. Yeah. Right. Now we're alone. So we've got 7 buildings, and there are 6 units of clan rats. So there's a clan rat, to keep this simple, there's a clan rat in every building apart from that one. That one has the poisoned wind globadiers, the acolytes in there with their poisoned gas. A couple of other things. So the unit that has got the rattling cannon hidden in it is here. The unit that has the warp fire thrower in it is this building here. We're counting that as all one building. And just because it then made no sense to have one clan verminous model on the board, Joe and I had a conversation about it, and we've agreed he can be in a building with a unit. And so he is in that one, more or less as far away as he can realistically get. I mean, he could be a bit further away being back here, but he needs to be close enough to the plebs to be able to herd them forward. So, clan rats, acolytes, claw lord, rattling gun, warp fire thrower. Right, I see where Joe's gone. Okay, so he's back in the room with a strange sense of paranoia about him. So now it's the priority roll for battle round 1. We've only been at it's less than 5 hours.
Yes, we've actually swift start today.
Very swift start. Although we did have to go and do some minor repairs to my car in an impromptu way because the guy said, oh, it's too difficult for me to do on a Sunday. I'm like, right, fine.
Do it ourselves.
I mean, that's a very grandiose title for description of changing a bulb. Anyway, right. Best of luck, sir. You ready for priority roll?
Good luck, mate.
Good luck. 4. No one technically dropped first. 6 and 2. Do I want to go first or second? I mean, I probably want to go first. I can't see why I wouldn't want to go first. But maybe I need to think about this. Right, we're going to wait till we can bite his ankles and let him take first turn. 1-1. Yes. Human, go. Human, your turn. So, in the midst of the hero phase, first off, the Lord Relictor used his charisma to heroically leadership people around him when he's getting a command point. My Plague Priest on a Plague Furnace just smells really bad and people think it's great, and he got command point as well. Basically, we both did heroic leadership and got an extra command point. Now it is the Incanting of Prayers, and the Lord Relictor is going to attempt to incant Translocation. On a 3+.
3+.
That's a 5.
So
it is... your prayer has been answered.
Okay, so from the heavens, a bolt of lightning strikes down right in front of him. And just like magic, these guys... Not that one.
Those guys zoom up to Azir, lightning up, whizzes around in the clouds for a bit, and then kabooms down. They've appeared here in the back corner, about to shoot the ratty backsides of the Jezzails.
You're the wrong side of your pervase.
Well, yes, I am. Oh dear. Right, any other actions in the hero phase?
That is all of my heroic actions and prayers. There are no spellcasters on this side of the table.
Okay.
So
Must be movement. So at the end of the movement phase, it looks a bit like this. As we know, we have the Judicators in this back corner. The Prosecutors have flown forward, ready to unleash hammer time. The Retributors are charging towards that ruin. The Debrief Knights coming around the back of them, presumably going to support a charge in this direction. We have Flagellants and Liberators going over the bridge. I spent a command point to redeploy the furnace backwards. Well, 3 inches in theory, but 2 inches in practice. That way, away. In a minute, it'll be back.
Back a bit.
Forward a bit. The Secretors and Dracothian Guard coming around here ready to smash into this building. The Liberators and...
So I was going to say the Liberators and the Lunatics.
Ready to charge into that building. The handgunners ran and have put themselves on this raised vantage point, which might be good for the shoots. Then the Free Guild General and Lord Relictor have moved up. The Halberdiers running to get some good position. These 2 Free Guild units have also run, again, for position for future turns, and the Castigators have moved up, ready to shoot things. They moved rather than running, so they are also going to be having a pop at something. Now, one thing we've checked is that until Joe attempts to garrison a building, he doesn't know what's in it, but I have the option, should I want it at the start of my hero phase, of revealing the buildings that units are in. But what that then, of course, does is makes the building count as an enemy model, and he can't move within 3 inches of it. So if I want to stop lots of Azir lightning coming down, I want the rats to stop hiding inside and start being at the windows, ready to throw sharp things at anything that comes in. So just...
But that does also open you up to being shot with missile weapons.
Yes. Well, as soon as you know what's in the building, you can shoot me with the missile weapons, but you can't shoot me if you don't know I'm there. That's... Yeah. Speaking of shooting, where are we starting?
Okay, I'm going to measure up the Prosecutors, and then they're probably going to go into these
the Plague Monks. Okay. Only 2 Prosecutors in range of the Plague Monks, so a total of 7 attacks, as 1 is the prime. Hitting on
4s.
4 hits. Wounding on
4s. It's 3 wounds.
3 wounds. Plague Monks have a save of 6+.
So it's a rend of 1.
So Plague Monks, 3 are dead. Okay, now coming to the Judicars in the back of the Jezzails. Now, it doesn't say anything of this nature on the card, but 1 point of their save is because the Pervase is at the front, so I am not counting that Pervase save from being shot from behind like this. So they're not going to get that bonus. 4 of them are shooting with the regular Thunderbolt crossbows, and 1 of them is firing the...
So Boltstorm crossbow,
Boltstorm, yeah. And then the 1 Thunderbolt, right?
Thunderstorm, yeah.
Okay. Joe has all out attacked, and I have all out defensed.
Okay, so they're 2 attacks each, but each hit generates an additional hit.
Yeah.
So hitting on 2s from all out attack.
Okay, so you missed with 1.
So that's going to be 7 extra hits.
So 14 hits in total. And they wound on
3s with no rend.
No rend. Okay. That's 11 wounds. 5+ save basic, +1 for all out defense. 11 saves of 4+. So I've just realised the drawback of this table. It's really difficult to roll dice and see where they are. That's 2 fails. That's 1 deck, because I have 1 wound each. That's another 2 fails. That is a third. That's a lot of passes there. So 2 are killed, and now we have the Boltstorm, the Thunderbolt, the big crossbow,
the big bada boom,
the big crossbow.
So 3 attacks hitting on 2s because of all that attack, and then thankfully, and it's going to be 3s to wound. A rend of 2.
Rend of 2. So 2 saves of 6+. No. And these are multiple damage, these, aren't they?
2 damage.
2 damage each, yeah, okay. So that kills the unit. That's it for the shooting phase. The Jezzails are taken out. Next on to the charge phase. We're starting with the Flagellants. They need 11 inches to get into their chosen target.
Forward. No.
Are you going to forward to victory for a command point?
No, I wouldn't.
The odds aren't high.
No. We'll move on to the charge with the prosecutors.
Okay.
The prosecutors.
They roll 3d6, don't they?
3d6.
Yes. That is a 12-inch charge. Okay, so the prosecutors have moved. Because of the wings, we're going to a little bit of artistic license with the ranges of things because we want it to look cool. We don't want them to look like they're sort of bending backwards. So they're fine. Slight technical cock-up on my part, just getting used to the way garrisoning is working. So we're jumping about a little bit. We need to jump back to the movement phase because, yes, the Stormcast units need to charge into the buildings to clear the Skaven out of them, but they only discover that by attempting to garrison them, which happens in the movement phase. So the first thing that would happen is this unit would attempt to garrison that building, and it would discover it's full of Skaven. It's full of clan rats. Ha! So, which does, of course, change the shooting phase as well, because it's going to give the castigators something to shoot at. So, little bit of cock-up revision here. But also, so these sequitors are attempting to garrison this building. Also full of clan rats and a warp fire thrower. And then when attempting to garrison this building also full of clan rats. It's a lot harder to place clan rats on here, so we just scattered a few around. For admin purposes, in case it looks like we're not matching up everything we're doing properly on the table, but we're going to keep a pen and paper track of how many have died in each building, because we can't properly represent it with the minis.
Trust us.
Yes, indeed. So we do need a bit of a reversal to the shooting phase.
I think we've got two units that can shoot, and that's about it. Yes,
there's the castigators and now have valid targets, and the Dracoths have their lightning attack. Yes. The handgunners ran, and the crossbowmen ran. Although the crossbowmen possibly wouldn't have run if we'd undone the building. So, do you want to move the crossbow back and say they stood still and shoot?
It's fine.
Or do you want to keep them as they are?
We'll leave them as they are.
Right, okay.
For ease.
For ease, okay. So, right, let's do the shooting for those. Okay. So, we'll do
the Dracoth now.
Dracoth.
So, on a 4+, D3 mortal wounds. So, no mortal wounds.
No. So a chimney stack is blown off that building.
So, this massive, this piece of destruction added to.
Indeed, quite.
And then we'll go with the castigators shooting over here. Now, I've never shot one of these, so let's check the profile.
And we've never used a building, and yeah, it's new stuff. Okay, so the castigators have D3 attacks each. The prime has an extra 1. They can pick between power and accuracy when channeling the etheric into their weapons. Power improves the Ren to make it Ren 2. Accuracy makes them +1 to hit. Now, because they are in a building, they are going to be -1 to be shot at, and they are going to be +1 to save. So they're going to have a 4+ save in there. And you're -1 to hit. But let's see how many shots you get first.
So, D3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a Skaven alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I hit it on a 4+ because of the -1.
Not right.
Again.
So 3 hits.
3. Why? Let's see if I wound them so. 3 dice I have to throw.
Indeed I do. Off you go.
3 Skaven wounded now. 3 saves of 6+. I lost my stride there. 3 saves of 6+. No. 1 damage?
Yes, 1 damage each.
3 dead Skaven in that building. Right, we think we're caught up on all of that now.
Sorry
about that. A bit of, yes. Right, Retributors. Charging a new 3-inch charge. Okay, they make it in. 6 inches into that building. And the Retributors make it in. I don't like the chances of that wall, to be quite honest. Right, Sequitors, also needing a 3. 10 inch. I mean, may as well roll for the Dracothian Guard whilst we're here, and then move them both. They 9 inch charge. So after the charges, they end up here. This is all one building, so we're counting this. This counts effectively as one enemy unit. Now I am going to unleash hell with the Warpfire Thrower on the Sequitors. This isn't a standard firing; it's a special way of doing it thingy. And one thing I can do is disable the flow regulator to put more and more flamey goo out, which is precisely what I'm going to do. Which will may well kill me. So normally you roll a dice for every model that's in range. Technically the range is from anywhere on the building, but it's, the 5 of them are all in range. On 4+ take a mortal wound, but because I'm disabling the flow regulator, they will take a mortal wound and a 3+. But any ones I roll will do mortal wounds to me. Any ones I roll will do mortal wounds to you. Yeah, one's a bad, okay? Okay, a couple of 2s. 3 mortal wounds.
Okay, one of them will die, and he will go up in a blaze of glory. He will.
Actually, no, I think that needs to put a wound on the Warpfire Thrower. I think that's most appropriate.
Okay.
Yes. Of course, technically we've got 2 units in a building.
Don't
think about that one. Don't think too much about that. So now the flagellants, or flagellants, there appears to be a disagreement as to the pronunciation in the room, and the liberators are going in.
Okay, so a 3-inch charge for each of them. I know they're super close.
Yeah. 3 inch charge, yeah.
So
4 inches
and
6. And we do have one more charge. The demigryphs are also going to charge. 2d6. 8 inches. So are they going into the same big building?
They're going to go into this building, yes.
Yeah, okie dokie, makes sense. Okay, so that finishes up. So the demigryphs have to finish within half an inch, which is there. This one is within half an inch of that enemy model. The building is the enemy model, so that's fine. The rest are around here, and when it comes to attack, these ones will have their mounts in range to be able to attack, but the demigryphs won't. It'll just be the riders who are sort of skewering Skaven over the top of the Stormcast with their lances. So, I mean, it's all happening very early on. Yes, okay, let's go to the combat phase. Okay, so we'll start the combat phase. Joe declaring those paladins for Storm of Annihilation, but we will get to those when they activate. Activating the prosecutors first, because he doesn't want them to get smushed. And let's be honest, that is where I would go first as well, because, yeah. So 4 guys are within an inch of the Plague Censer Bearers. 2 are in range of the Plague Monks. So that's how they are being split.
Yes, so the 4 into the Censer Bearers, I'm all out attacking with them.
Yep.
So this is going to be this many attacks, hitting on 2s.
-1 to hit because of the poisonous fumes rule.
Hitting on 3s.
I mean, there's not a single...
What?
1, 2. 1, 2, okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be wounding on 3s. Are there any minuses to this at all?
No, not with this particular combination. Yeah, I've missed 1 second. It's hiding underneath the wall.
Does the Plague Furnace not make it -1 to hit or something like that?
Oh, maybe. Quick checking of cards. No, this doesn't do anything extra, but I got the thing the wrong way around. It isn't -1 to hit from the Plague Censer Bearers, it's -1 to wound. Joe only had 1 miss. We've added that back in. Yep. Now rolling to wound. Would be 3s, now 4s. So that's quite a few.
Yeah.
It's quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at rend 1.
Rend 1.
I have a 6+ save. The unit has 10 wounds. That is a dead unit. So that unit's wiped out, and 4 more attacks, 6 more attacks into the Plague Monks.
Hitting on 2s.
Yes.
So 2 misses.
So 4 hits, no negatives to this.
Okay, so 3s to wound. That is 4 wounds.
4 wounds.
Oh, rend 1.
Rend 1, 4 dead. Okay, so my turn to pick. I really would quite like to hit those retributors and do some damage, but Joe has a command point left, and they are in range of the hero who has to issue it, and he will just all out defense, and they will have a 2+ save, and I won't get a whole 1. So I think I'm going to try and do some more damage to Sequitors, because they start with a base of 4+ save, so we can only defense it to 3+. They do have their channeling ability, which at the start of the round, we didn't catch it on camera, but Joe chose to put into the weapons, so he doesn't get the ward save that would bring. So, dropped one. That's awkward. So 20. Oh no, these aren't rusty knives. These are rusty spears. Oh well, 20 rusty spears hitting on 5s rather than 4s. You see, this is why you need your clan verminous heroes, because they can make them have an extra attack each, which is a big difference. Okay, hit on 5s. Some hits. 8 hits, which is rather good. Wounding on 4s. That is 5 saves required. You all out defended, so 4+ becomes a 3+.
So 3+ saves.
1 goes through. One of them was
wounded, yes.
So that kills another one. Does it Blaze of Glory?
No.
No, it's got 2 wounds. You need to roll 2 dice for Blaze of Glory.
Thank you.
Okay. Got one! Right.
Oh dear.
Do you know where you're going to go next?
I'll take this man off first. Yes, let's go. Let's just put the hammers into this.
It's hammer time.
It's hammer time.
Right, now we're going to the Retributors. 3 attacks each, +1 for the prime. They would hit on 3s and wound on 3s, but because I'm garrisoning a building, they are going to hit on 4s, -1 to hit. They have the Blast to Ashes rule, which means 6s to hit do mortal wounds instead. So, 4s to hit.
4s to hit.
1 6 to hit, and then a fistful of rolls to wound. Wounding on 3s. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the rend?
Rend 2, 2 damage.
Rend 2, okay. Well, my save is 5, but I'm garrisoning a building, so I still have a 6-up save, which I make 1 of. These are 2 damage each. 2, 4, 6, 8, plus the 2 mortals is 10 dead clan rats. Right, Skaven turn, and I'm going to attack with the unit of clan rats that's garrisoning this building here, and we're going to attack the flagellants. They don't have a save. I think I'm trying to think I might actually get something. And do you know what? I'm going to all attack as well. So I should be hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s with my 21 attacks. Extra 1 from the poor leader. So 21 attacks, hitting on 3s. They get no save. I mean, they turn into raging psychopaths if any of them get killed. But you never know. Hit on 3s. 18 hits, 3 misses. That was an awful lot. What's it, 18? It's this many hits anyway. 4s to wound. 7 wounds. They have no saves, so that's 7 dead. The Nullstone Brotherhood getting a mauling. But they are all going to gain 2 additional attacks each because they are martyrs. But, very satisfying. Kill, man thing. And Joe choosing to hit straight back here for the laughs. So they have 2 attacks base, but because I've killed so many of their friends, then I've got 4 each, and the Prophet has got an extra attack. And because of the Fanatical Fury rule, they charge, they get +1 to hit and +1 to wound. So they're going to hit on 3s and wound on 4s.
4s and 3s.
Hit on 4s, wound on 3s.
So hit on 4s?
No, so they're going to hit on -1 because they're garrisoning a building, so back to 5s.
4 hits.
Wounding on 3s.
3 wounds.
3 wounds. Any rend?
No rend.
No rend. Okay, my save goes up to 4+ because I'm garrisoning the building. And we're good! Stupid man things. Kill. Hide, they're coming! So I'm going to activate these clan rats. There are 7 left. We are going to hit the Retributors. The leader has an extra attack. They have got the rusty weapons. So they're going to hit on 4s. 4s and 4s. 3 hits. 3 wounds? 2 wounds. Regular saves of 3+. Got a wound! We made it bleed. Where's everyone gone? Okay, so now we come to the Demigryph Knights. Doing attacking with the lances first.
Yep.
They have 3 attacks each, 2 attacks?
3 attacks each.
3 attacks each.
And the precept has an extra attack.
Extra attack, so that's 19 attacks. Hitting on 3s, but -1 for the garrison. So hitting on 4s. Ooh. So it's wounding on 4s, but it is rend 2, damage 2 because of the charging lance rule.
So 4s.
So
2, 4, 7.
did you say there was something about modified 6s?
No, that's on the mount attack.
Oh, right, okay. So 7 saves at rend 2, yeah?
That's correct.
7 saves. 5 + 1, 4, -2, 6. No. So 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 get through. 2 damage each. 12 damage. There's only 7 models left in the unit. That unit is destroyed. Now, with our custom rule, we said that we would be able to garrison the building straight away as a result of the attack. However, cavalry can't garrison buildings. So that is still going to remain, whilst it's no longer garrisoned, that will still remain a Skaven building until you garrison it. Yep. Okay, I'm activating the Plague Monks. They get loads of buffs from stuff that is a result of charging or having plague sensors nearby, none of which apply. So, they have their base 2 attacks each. Their base 2 attacks each. Their range becomes an extra inch because they've got more than 10 models in the unit, 10 or more. So with 3 iterations, they're all in range. There's 13 left. 2 attacks each, plus the Bringer of Woe gets an extra attack. I assume the Bringer of Woe gets an extra attack. Yes, sorry, Bringer of the Word, not Bringer of Woe. Yes, they get an extra attack. If I had command points, I'd be all out attacking, but I didn't, so I don't, so I'm not. Or some words like that. So, hitting on 4s. 6s to hit are rend 2. Stuff. Is there a better angle I can get to actually show you what the numbers on here are? I don't know. They're not the most visible dice, are they? Okay, 4 are rending. The rest aren't. So the non-rending ones, wounding on 4s. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 saves at no rend. And then the ones that are rend 2, wounding on 4s. 2 of those at rend 2. Right, 2 at -2, sorry.
6 plus save. So a wound.
Yep.
And then the 4 at no rend.
4s.
So 2 die in total.
2 die in total. Thingy, lightning, blast.
Yep, these 2.
Zap, zap, zap.
Nothing.
No lightning, zap, zap. But 2 dead.
2 die.
That's disappointingly few.
Sorry for the sound effects.
Oh, wrong game. So Sequitur's going next. 2 attacks each, +1 for the champion, with great maces.
Because they channeled their power into their weapons, a 6 will score an additional hit.
Okay. 3s normally, is it?
Yes.
Okay, so 4s. No 6s.
But
5 hits.
winning on 3s. 2 wounds.
2. Rend.
1, I believe.
Okay, saves a 5. No. 2 dead.
2 damage each.
4 dead. Now the Corinthian Guard.
Okay, so the hammers are going to be hitting on 3s, winning on 2s because of Storm of Annihilation.
Right, yes. So it's +1, -1.
Yep.
+1 for Storm of Annihilation, -1 because of Garrison.
Yeah, and 6s do 2 mortal wounds.
Is it instead?
Instead, yes.
Okay.
So that's 2
So 6
mortal
comes
wounds.
out, 2 more wounds, 2 died.
2's to wound. Oh, rend 2.
And 2, 3 saves are 6+. 1. So 6 more. So that's another 6 Skaven dead.
And then the mounts get to attack with their claws and fangs. 6 attacks, hitting on 4s, winning on 3s.
3 hits.
3 wounds.
Any rend?
Rend 2, damage 2.
6s to save. No. So that's another 3, 6. So 12. They'd already lost 4. Lost 12. There's 4 left. Uh-oh. Okay, and lastly, the Liberators with the Heaven-wrought weapons. Normally hitting on 3s, but 4s because of garrison. Some.
That many.
That many, yeah. They're forced to wound. That's some good wounding.
6.
6 wounds.
So
Rend
Rend
1. Okay, so my save goes back to 5s. 2 pass. 4 get through. So that's that's 4 die in that. That's the first 4 to die in that building. 4 dead. Okay, so we are now into the battle shock phase. All Skaven units within 13 inches of the Plague Furnace do not test for battle shock, so they're going nowhere. That unit was wiped out. This unit has lost 16. 16 plus 6 is 22. The rest of them scurry back down into the sewers and away. That unit has been destroyed. This unit lost 4. Their bravery's 4. So another 4 from that unit decide that they've had enough and disappear. But also, with the Endless Tide rule, they regain D3 for 3. So 3 more come back.
It's okay. I'm sure they'll get whacked to death as these flagellants need to make a battle shock test.
So their bravery is
8 base.
They get +1 for being next to the Redeemers.
So it's 9 and 7 died.
Okay, so 7 plus
5. So 3 will run, which will be the last of them. However, they have got a special rule called Reckless Abandon. Each time a Modern's unit flees, I can pick an enemy unit. They're Skaven.
Uh-huh.
And on a 4+, they suffer a mortal wound.
Okay.
2 mortal wounds.
2. Okay, so hang on. 3 came back. So it's 1 back on what I've got written down. Right. Yeah. Okay. And the prosecutors can fail on a 6 because they had 2 casualties. They do not. Can the sequitors fail? They lost 2.
Let's roll a die and find out. Let's find out.
Let's check. Their bravery is 7, so 1 has fled, or more likely 1 has collapsed from an earlier wound that they were struggling through. And that is the end of Sigmar turn 1. We haven't had Skaven turn 1 yet. Wow.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah. So 2 buildings, but I'm still going to get to throw stones at you because you haven't garrisoned them yet. I have to throw stones at you.
Still some stragglers hiding in the
corners. Yeah.
corners.
And if I can kill those 2 sequitors, you're going to have to bring another unit over to garrison it. Oh no, a doom wheel. Right, Skaven turn 1. Okay, hero phase. So first off, the Plague Furnace generated a command point with heroic leadership. The Lord Relictor wanted heroic willpower to try and unbind the Warlock, but was about that far out. So instead went for heroic leadership, but didn't get a command point. We're now coming on to prayers. And the first thing we're going to start with is the Plague Priest on the Plague Furnace. He has 2 other priests within 13 inches of him. So he's going to get +2 to his chanting roll. He's going to attempt to pray for filth, which will happen on a 2+, but because it's +2 to the roll, a 4+ will result in a grand plague. 3, so no grand plague, but it is cast. That will give those guys +1 to wound. So they're going to get +1 to wound. Mustn't forget that, +1 to wound. This priest is going to pray for Rabid, which will give those guys +1 to attack. It's got 1 priest within range, so a 2+ to cast the prayer, and a 5+ will be a Great Plague. Cast the prayer, no Great Plague. So they're going to get +1 to attack. +1 to attack, +1 to wound. This guy is going to go for disease, because these are in range to do disease 2. So same thing, he needs a 2+ and a 5+ will be a Great Plague. So we have a Great Plague and we have disease. Let's resolve disease. Roll a dice for each model in the unit. Each 5+ does a mortal wound. That is 1, 2, 3 mortal wounds on that unit. So we are going to go for the Great Nether Plague. For the rest of the battle, I get to re-roll chanting rolls with all Pestilence priests.
Doom, doom.
Doom. Right. Now time to kill some man-things. So, first of all, we're going to eat some warpstone. Tasty. So, I'm supposed to do this at the end of the phase. I'm going to do it now so I don't forget. On a roll of a 1, he takes some damage. That's not a 1. I don't have to look up how much damage he takes. But it's casting on a 7, but I can now re-roll because I ate the warpstone spark. Tasty. That's a 9, so it is cast. So, Vermintide gets played. You'd have thought I'd have picked up the model, wouldn't you? So, it appears here. Then, it gets to move 7 inches, but, I mean, it's moved. It's a predatory spot, so we'll get to move in the future, as the Warlock directs it. Roll 13 dice. Hang on. I haven't got enough fingers to press the button on the watch. That's 12, one more. 13 dice for every... Is it 5 or 6? For every 6 the unit suffers a mortal wound. But if they move whilst they're within 3 inches of it, this will happen to them again. 1, 2, 2. 2 mortal wounds, 1 dies. And then also in the hero phase, I can choose to reveal some of my garrisoned units. And I want to actually use them, so I am doing that. So I've revealed this unit to be garrisoning a unit of clan rats, and this building to be garrisoned by a unit of Scryer acolytes. Scryer. A unit of acolytes, because I want to get them out of their buildings to go and ruin something's day. Basically. And that's it for the hero phase. Can you think of anything I've forgotten in the hero phase?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. Right then. Movement. So we're in the middle of the movement phase. I just jumped out of this building, ready to jump on these and mess them up. And just check the wording of Vermintide. So the rats are going to eat the clan rats. On 6s. Only 1. This one gets eaten by the ravening horde of vermin. Deary me. So, again, we're still in the middle of the movement phase. We've spotted something that belonged in the hero phase, and Joe has very kindly allowed me to do it now. For each of the Plague Monk units, the champion has the Book of Woe. And we roll to see if that has any effect. So we do this one. On a 2-3, the nearest... 3-4, the nearest enemy unit within 13 inches... takes was 1 mortal wound? Yeah, it's 1 mortal wound. So it's that guy's the range thingy one. Yep. And then this one, 5-6 is D3 mortal wounds for 1 on the prosecutors. Right, I'm sure we will be able to carry on with moving now. So at the end of the movement phase, we have these clan rats who've been eaten by their own rats. The warlock's just sort of sighing and gesticulating wildly. Who's also walked over here to try and get in range with his warplock pistol, but is not. The Plague Claw catapult staying put. These all move forward 6, ready to do some charges. Hopefully do some charges. Excuse me. The Doom Wheel has a random... movement 4d6. Roll pretty low, only a 9-inch move. You can re-roll it, but you risk it going all screwy and crashing into things. And I didn't want to do that because there are some targets here for shooting and for charging. The plague sensor is rolling up the hill. It's being pushed by plague monks, but they're going to get a much easier time on the other way down. Then the Scryer acolytes have got out of this building and are getting ready to throw their poison wind globes at those retributors. They can't, they're not all within range because it's short, it's only 8-inch range, those globadeers, but 5 of them will be shooting at the prosecutors instead because they do not have the range for their thingy. They can ordinarily they can run and shoot, but de-garrisoning rule takes priority over the running. They can't move any further, they just get out and that takes up their whole move. So that's all my movement. So when I want to shooting, So, speaking of Clan Scryer, gas. So, we're going to fire these Scryer Acolytes first. 10 into the Retributors, 5 into the Prosecutors. They have D3, 1 attack each, the D3s on the damage. All out attack. Because this is a carefully laid trap. Nah! I get +1 to wound rolls if a target unit has 10 or more. So that's not going to apply. So hitting on 3s, +1, 2s. So 9 hits. Wounding on 3s. That's disappointingly 5 fail to wound. Rend of 2.
So it'll be a 5-up save. None. D3 damage each. For 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So taking out 3 of them, one who was already damaged. Okay, I'll take that. Well, I have no option other than to take that. So, I'll be magnanimous in my lack of victory. Right, the other 5 at the Prosecutors, hitting on 2s. All hit, wounding on 3s. All wound. Rend of 2. How many, sorry?
5.
6s.
Make 2.
So 3 go through.
3d3 damage. For 1, 6 damage.
So 3 die.
One was already on 1 wound, so puts a wound on the prime. Okay. 2 Stormcast rolling for Blaze of Glory, but no wounds dealt. Right, now, before I forget, because I'm going to forget if I don't not forget, so I get to throw stones and bricks from all my buildings that I control. I do control that one. On a 5+, no. Ooh, I hit the guy. This one I still control. There are still some Skaven in there throwing stuff. On a 5+, yes, D3 mortal wounds to the Retributors for 1. 1 mortal wound on a Retributor. I control this one. Yes, D3 mortal wounds to a Liberator for 3 damage. Kills 1, wounds 1. And the Blaze of Glory might have the hand off the Skaven that threw it, but doesn't. This one still in my control because none of these were garrisoned. On a 5+, no. And then I can't remember if the range is 3 or 6 inches, so there's no enemy near here.
Okay.
So I don't need to roll for this one. I can't remember the range, but I'll roll for it and then check if we need to. No, so I don't need to check. Right, that's stones and bricks. Now, other shooting of things. So the Plague Claw has a rule that gives it +1 to hit and more damage if it fires at a unit that's got 10 or more models. So Halberdiers, sucks to be you. So it's now going to hit on a 2. 1 attack, it's on a 2. Hits. Wounds on a 2. Wounds. Rend of 2. The save is 5+.
So they will not get saved.
So it goes straight through. Barrage of disease. 2d6 damage. For 4. 4 dead. But you add 2 to battle shock rolls because they're now dying in very, very horrible ways. So we must try and remember that. Now the Doom Wheel is going to lightning those Dracothian Guard with its Warp Bolts. But I'm going to use the more Warp Bolts ability to roll an extra dice. But if I get a double, after it's resolved, I take 2d6 mortal wounds, which will sting a bit. How many shots do I get? 10. And not a double.
Not a double.
Not a double. Oh dear. I say oh dear, by which I mean more warp bolts. Hitting on 3s. That is 9 hits. Wounding on 3s. And that is 6 wounds at rend of 1, sir.
So 4+ saves.
4+ saves.
2.
2 go through. D3 damage each.
Ooh.
For 4. I think they got 5 each. Is it 5 or 6?
Yes.
Yes, it's 5 or 6. We'll check that and adjust as necessary. Okay, that's it for shooting. So charge phase. Doom Wheel. 9-inch charge. Now, given that thing didn't die, I don't know if I want to charge it, but not an awful lot of choice. I'm going to drive straight into it and also connect with the sequiturs. Then I can make my mind up. The next one we're going to do is the Plague Furnace. Needs a big number, I think. That's a 9. That might be enough. Downhill! Sorry. Yeah, plenty of charge there. That's good. That's good. Right, these Plague Monks are going to charge as well. A 3. I'm going to use his command point to do forward to victory on them. 8. That'll do. And they make it here. Now, the Plague Censer Bearers. Charge 7. See who they can get to. And the Plague Censor's getting in here. The Plague Priest tried to charge, needed a 12, didn't make it. And lastly, we have this charge over here. Needs a 3. Gets a 9. I know Joe's very tempted to unleash hell just because it's funny.
No,
but he's not going to. Okay. But I do trigger that again. And 2 more clan rats eaten by the Vermintide on the way in. I'm beginning to think that's a double-edged sword. But a funny double-edged sword. Right. And that's all the charges. I now need to decide where I'm going first. And I'll be honest, there really is no competition. The Plague Monks are going first. Because they're so much grosser on the charge. And right now there are 20 of them. Which means their range is 3 inches. Plus all the buffs that they've got on them. And... So start of the combat phase. A couple of things that need to be declared. The Sequiturs are etherically channeling into defense. So they're going to have a ward save of 5+. The Storm of Annihilation. The Paladins have been nominated as the target for that. And their target is the Plague Censer Bearers. They are just going to turn around and wallop those. Which is unfortunate. However, I would still far rather go first with the Plague Monks. They're getting +2 attacks. 1 for Rabid and 1 for charging, because it's one of the things they get. I'm splitting them up with 4 going into the Flagellants, these 4 near here. Then 8 going into the Liberators and 8 going into the Halberdiers. So I'm going to do those sort of bits one at a time. Right, first off, we have the 4 against the Flagellants. These are paired blades, fetid blades, so they're going to hit on 3s. I haven't picked up enough dice. 1 minute. Right, hitting on 3s. Right, that's 4 6s at rend -2, and the rest are wounding at rend regular. But against the Flagellants, it makes no difference because they have no save. So these are all wounding on 4s. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dead. Because they have no save. Right, against the Liberators. 8 lots of 6 dice. Hitting on 3s. So that's 4 that are rend 2 will wound on 4s. All 4. And then there's this many that will also wound on 4s but are AP dash. So Joe has 11 saves to take. 4 at rend 2.
Okay, so I have to do these one at a time. Because the Lord Relictor is an envoy of the heavens. So if one of these were to die...
He can put them back in the armour and say, where you going, sunshine?
Yeah.
Right, so, okay. These are the minuses.
This is the -2.
Okay.
And they get +1 from their shield, so 5s to save.
Okay.
So 1 goes through.
Yep.
2 goes through. So that will kill a Liberator. So we'll remove him.
Yep.
And now this is on...
Doesn't he put him back?
No. He buffs the unit and they get +1 to save.
Hasn't he got an ability that...
That is the Sacrosanct character.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Okay. So now this is the last one at rend 2, but it's going to be on a 4+ to save.
Right.
which saves. And now there was 7.
7 others, which will now be 2+ saves.
Will now be 2+ saves.
Huh. Right. Fine. I'm going to mess up these halberdiers on 3s. Right, so 7 hits on 6. This many hits on not 6. Wounding on 4s. Then these are wounding on 4s. So 4 at Rend 2, which kills them. And then 8 saves of 5+.
2.
2 passed. So 4 and 6 is 10 dead. 10 dead. So the Dracothian Guard pile in and attack the Plague Sensor Bearers. So you're -1 to wound. So hit because you're +1 to hit and wound because of your special rule. You're going to hit me on 2s with the hammers.
So, but 6s will be mortal wounds.
Yep, blast to ashes. So it's 4 mortal wounds. So you've killed 2.
And then this will be 3s to wound because of your -1 to wound.
Yep.
That'll be 3 at Rend 2.
At Rend 2. Okay, so they've all got through. That's another 6 damage. They're all dead. Right, I'm going to attack with the Plague Priest on Plague Furnace. And it's not the right tactical time to do it. It's not the order any sane player who wants to win should do. But I've been dying to use this since I painted it. And I can't wait the extra 90 seconds it would take. So, all of the weapons are short range. And I'm going to hit the 2 flagellants apart from the giant flail, which is a 3-inch range, which is in range of the Liberators. So the Great Flail, the Great Plague Sensor, is going to hit the Liberators. This has a special rule. I roll a dice, and on a 2+ it hits, and does the number of mortal wounds equal to the value on the chart. So here's where I roll a 1. It's not a 1. So at this damage level, it's D3 +4 mortal wounds. 3 + 4, 7 mortal wounds to those Liberators. He's not laughing now.
So, this chappie...
He was the only one in range.
Yep, so that's what I was thinking. I'll leave that one, and then they...
That's what makes most sense. But of course, he's taken a wound.
It'll matter.
He caught a whiff.
No! He's going to get blood on him.
He caught a whiff. Right, now we've got some other attacks. The Warpstone Tipped Staff is my fetid weapon. So on rolls to hit 6, it's quite nasty. Oh, I so want to do 6 wounds to a flagellant. Oh, sad times. I'm sorry, my apologies. Hang on. It's supposed to be D3 attacks, not 3. So it would have been 1 attack.
Just have a hit, you got 2.
Which, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the attack I should have had. 1, 2, so it's a miss. Yes, that made perfect sense in my head, and some people will have followed it. Right, the fetid blades that I drove into them with, they hit on 3s. That's 3 hits. They all that sewage like them. They wound on 4s. 1 kills 1 of them. Are they going to survive being driven into by this thing? And then so they were the fetid blades from the crew. Now the rusty spikes have 6 attacks, 3s, -1. 5, 3 kills 3.
1 left, and he's dead.
Jolly good. Hurrah! Joe going for the Sequitors next to try and take out the Doom Wheel, but one of the guys with the great hammers can't get close because someone's parked a Dracoth in the way.
Clever lad.
Parked a bleeding Dracoth in the way. Yes, a bleeding Dracoth. So, 3 attacks.
Hitting on 3s.
3 hits.
Winning on 3s. 1 wound.
1.
Rend 1.
Rend 1. Save of maybe that? Yep, 4+ save, so -1, 5+ is a goer. as it were. Right, now, we're next. Then I attacked the remaining prosecutor and killed him. Then over here, the liberators are attacking this garrison again.
So we'll just
nudge them up a little bit.
do a nudge.
Good-o. That's 2, 4, 6, 8,
Attacks.
9 attacks.
Hitting on 4s because they're in a garrison.
Yep. Just 5 hits.
I'm winning on 4s.
4s because they're liberators and their weapons have sponges tied to them. 3.
Rend 1.
3 at rend 1. So 5s. No, 3 killed. There are now 3 more dead in that garrison. 10 have died in that garrison. 10 are remaining. The clan rats then attacking the judicators have rolled to hit and wound, and there are 2 saves to take on 4s. Both passed. The Sigmarite armour holding strong. The Liberator then attacked over here, killed 1 Plague Monk. The Banner of Woe, not Banner of Woe, the Banner of, hang on, the Icon of Entropy not slaying him in return. I forgot to use that over here earlier. It's now irrelevant, but every time you kill a Plague Monk on a 6, it does a mortal wound to a unit within 6 inches. Right, where am I going to go? I think I'm going to go with the Doom Wheel now. Right, putting all the weapons into the Dracoth. I'm going to drive through the wounded one, what I zapped earlier. So first off, the Grinding Wheel has 6 attacks. It's D6, so 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s. It's 3. Wounding on 3s. None. Then we have 6 attacks with teeth and knives from the crew. They hit on 4s and wound on 4s. 1. Can't kill it. Oh. Want to drive through them. Now we come to the Free Guild Guard with halbards attacking. 1 attack each plus the champion. 7 attacks hitting on 4s. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. 3 wounds. That's 3 dead because they have a rend of 1 and they have a 6+ save. However, the Icon of Entropy may splash fetid gore back at them on 6s, but it doesn't. And to be fair, I think those guys have had a bad enough day as it is.
They're just wallowing in filth at the moment.
Well,
and they're dead comrades.
And they're yeah, that too. And then the garrison in this building attack the Liberators. They've caused 3 wounds, so 3 saves, or 3+. But they got 1.
Got 1. Does it blaze?
No. So that wound moves over onto an other. And wow, we got 1. Now the Lord Relictor is going to pile in to the Plague Monks. 4 attacks. Hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds. Rend of 1. They go straight through. 2 damage each. That's 4 dead Plague Monks. Let's see if the Icon of Entropy does anything. No. 4 dead Plague Monks. And lastly, we think, are the Judicators stabbing up the clan rats.
So
1 attack each, hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s. 2 hits. If you'd all attacked, those 2 would have been hits.
it would have.
Yeah.
Good job we never mentioned it.
Nothing.
Off camera or anything like that.
No. Because we haven't spent 10 minutes 10 minutes is exaggeration. About 2 minutes agonising about where to spend your 1 remaining command point. So that's all the fighting.
Yep.
We must be in the battle shock phase. Are you spending your command point to keep your retributors from having even the slightest chance of running off?
I'm going to spend it to keep my Liberator from running away.
Inspiring presence from the Lord Relictor to the Liberator.
Correct.
Right, okay. So, do you want to roll bravery for your retributors?
5 and a 6 is bad, folks.
Oh, just brave enough. Okay, we've lost 3 of these. 3 and 6, 2 run away. Then at the end of the phase, D3 come back. No score draw. All the Skaven here are fearless because they're next to Plague Furnace. These ones all died. They lost an additional 3 this turn. They hold. 3 plus 1 is 4. They hold. They're obviously quite content with the fact they've mashed up a lot of Humies and a couple of the tin cans.
Mm-hmm.
You got any others to take?
No.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, no, let's just ignore this.
So the Halberdiers have lost 14.
Yep.
But you add 2 to the roll because they're covered in plague or catapult. So for those, you need to roll. I mean, the command point you spent there, I mean, he might have stayed on his own. But for these, you need to roll under minus 16 to keep them there. Which, on a d6, let me just check. Nope, they're gone. So that's the end of battle round 1. We're about to the priority roll for turn 2. Uh-oh. I might have pressed the wrong button and turned the camera off by mistake. Right, priority roll for turn 2. Good luck, sir.
Likewise.
5. Now, do I want to go next and follow up what I am choosing to think of as an advantage? Yeah, I think I do. Okay, hero phase. We both went for heroic leadership and both failed. So nothing happening there. I'm not revealing what's in either of these 2 buildings this turn. But before I forget to do it, I am going to roll for the Book of Woe for the Plague Monks. Right, so first of all, I'm going to roll for this one. A 1, nothing happens. And roll for this one. On a 3, the nearest unit within 13 inches, which are the demigriffs, take D3 mortal wounds for 1. So that's a wound on a demigriff. Right, then over here, this plague priest is going to cast Pestilence over here to try and get these 2 units in, but leaving the Doom Wheel out. It's got +1 from the proximity of the nearest priest, but re-roll because of the Great Plague. That is in effect. So I pick a point on the battlefield, so there, and then every unit within 3 inches, so that's both of those, on a 4+, take D3 mortal wounds. So the Dracoths don't take mortal wounds. The Sequitors don't take mortal wounds. Good, glad we did that. So now, the... Now, the general is going to cast Filth. Casts on a 3, but I can re-roll because of the plague. It's a 6, so I'm going to have another Great Plague there. So, these guys are going to get Filth and get +1 to wound, and I'm going to go and read the Great Plagues again. So there's lots of choice, but they all target the nearest unit, and a lot of them do funky things for the rest of the battle, but the nearest unit is that one remaining Liberator. So on balance, I'm going to go for the Great Bubonic Blight Plague, which does 2d6 wounds to the nearest unit. He dies. And then d6 wounds to another unit near him. 6. He dies. And then D3... Oh, hang on. I didn't expect that to happen. Yeah, okay. It is within 6. So the Free Guild General then takes D3 mortal wounds for 2. And because he didn't die, it doesn't carry on.
Before the Relictor went down and saw the Liberator go, he spent a command point to call for aid.
Yeah, all right.
It's all going wrong. Or extremely right.
Well, I mean, very much a matter of perspective at this point. Okay, so that all happened, and then those Liberators have come back in from the... What was the ability called?
Call for aid.
Call for aid. It's like, this is a problem, I'm feeling very queasy.
Come down on my position.
And then
came down on his position.
You didn't Blaze of Glory him.
He wasn't within range.
Was he not?
No.
Oh, because I took the ones nearest from him as I normally do, and that's with the okay. Okay, so we have another prayer. This one is going to get +1 to the roll because it's one priest in range. I'm going to go for the generic bless prayer. So basically, he's praying to the horn rat / Nurgle for protection. So on a 4+, but +1, re-rolling because of the Great Never Plague, still failed. But not a 1, which means God didn't kick me in the teeth.
Not this time.
Not this time, no. Okay, so that's the prayers. Now the spells. So the Warlock has steered the Vermintide through here. However, the way the rule works is you can eat one unit that is within 3 inches of you at the end of your move. And he is ever so slightly outside of 3 inches. So the clan rats are getting it. And 3 of them die. Now, spells that he's actually going to cast himself whilst the rats are chewing on those clan rats. Next turn they'll be in range. Yes, they will. If I just put them back through again, it'll be fine. Look at all the corpses, all the skeletons they've chewed bare. Those are Skaven. Anyway, so he's going to cast Warp Lightning. Now, Warp Lightning has a range of 13 inches. I haven't measured it. I hope it's in range. We'll find out in a minute. I'm going to use the, what's it called? The Warp Power Accumulator. That's that thing on his back that's going to build the warp energy and unleash a mighty Warp Lightning Bolt. If I think before I do that, I think I might eat a Warpstone Spark, which might do me some damage at the end of the turn, but it's so Moorish. It really is. So I need a 5 to cast, but I get a reroll because of the Warpstone Spark. If I fail to cast, though, rather than doing D6 damage to them, I'll do D6 damage to me. You know, Skaven magic and technology are interesting. So on a 5, I should be rolling 2 dice. So that's Snake Eyes, but I get to reroll. That's a 7. So D6 mortal wounds for 1. That was totally worth doing.
And do you take mortal wounds from the Warpstone Spark?
On a 1 I do. That's a 1. And I think it's D3 for what? I'll just check that. Yeah, D3 mortal wounds. So I've just taken 1. You took 1. I have to say, if we keep trading blows like this, I'm not convinced I'm going to be the one who survives. Right. It's now movement. So at the end of the movement phase, nothing's happened over here. He can garrison the building. Forgot to do that. Yeah, there you go. He garrisons that building. That's done now. He's now in range to shoot with his pistol into that combat. Huzzah! And the Plague Claw catapult stayed still. I could fire it over here, but it feels more fitting to keep flinging the filth after the Pestilence models. So it'll be doing that. This priest has come over here to try and, obviously not quite realising that the plague sense of burners have died. He's following them in, realise they're all dead, but you know, they're all they're even more nuts than the really nuts Skaven.
I mean, they're still moving.
Yeah,
it's just they're just twitching and just falling over each other as opposed to.
It's still moving because it's got my axe buried in its central nervous system. Despite the fact that there should be no way I know what a central nervous system is. That still only counts as 1. Anyway, so these plague monks have moved up. There's a couple of choice targets, castigators, general. The plague furnace is sort of cresting the corner. Hopefully we'll get a charge into the demigryphs. Might not be that many left, though, because the Clan Scryer acolytes are lining up a nice fumy barrage. Fumy. And these guys are wading through the sewer. Sewer. Ready to charge in as well. But obviously some of these charge distances, they're going to be medium distance, so not by any means guaranteed. And I think that's it for a summary of the movements. Shooting. So each building I own that's not garrisoned can throw rocks. So that building is going to throw rocks at the Retributors. Doesn't hit them. This building is going to throw rocks at those guys. Doesn't hit them. This building is going to throw rocks at the Draconith. Doesn't hit them. These legends in there are going to... Oh, who should have got D3 back at the end of the Battle Shock phase? Did we forget to do the Battle Shock phase?
I think we... Scratch that.
I think we did.
I think we did.
No, they passed. But they should have got 2 back. So, But they didn't. So they're going to throw rocks, but miss. Who else is in rock range? No, that's not it.
That one, maybe?
No, it's 3 inches.
Oh, okay. Definitely not in rock range then.
No. Okay. So it's time to do various bits of shooting. 15 class Scryer Acolytes into the Demigryph Knights. I assume the words all-out defence are wandering very close to this conversation.
Don't put words... Yes,
I thought so. Okay, 15 shots, hitting on 3s. That's 11 hits. Wounding on 3s. Good job, 6s don't do anything special. Oh, I should mention they ran, actually. I should mention that, but they can still... They have the quick volley rule. They can still run and shoot. 3s to wound. So that is for 8 at rend 2. So they have a 3 plus normally, so +1 gets them to 2s, then back down to 4s. 4 plus saves.
4s.
That is half and half. 4 fails. And they do D3 wounds each. Oh, lordy. 11.
So that is 3 there.
How many do they have each?
4.
I thought there were 5.
The card says 4.
Okay, it's 4 then.
So 3.
Maybe I thought they had more than they had on the card. So what I might have done is previously thought they had 3 and it was 4. But now I know they have 4, but still in my brain is they have 1 more than I thought they had on the card. So I was just putting it up to 5. The next time they use them, I'll probably think they've got 8. Anyway, so 11.
I hope you're following at home. So 4, 7. Oh, that's another one dead.
4, 7, 11.
Yeah.
That's 3 of them dead. Ouch. Smells a bit. Right, the Doom Wheel Driver is getting a little bit agitated with all these dragons. He's not really in the position to drive away, so he is going to do more warp bolts again. But he is going to all-out attack this time. He really means business. So 2d6 shots for 7. Not a double, so I do not blow up. For 7. Right, 3s and 3s render 1. So,
They'll all out defense themselves.
So all attack is +1, so 2s, and you're all out defending.
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
Oh.
I did this last time.
Is it not elite?
It's a war machine. There is nothing to issue it. It cannot all out attack.
Is it only an 18 of your general?
It might be. Plague Priest can issue it. Panic over. But I guess it's more a sort of case of rivalry amongst the clans. He sees the Plague Priest as close.
Yeah. He came up expecting the Sensibiris to be there. It's like, well, go on, kill it then.
Yeah. It's your fault, this. Oh, no. So we're hitting on 2s. So 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. 3 wounds. Render of 1.
So it's going to be 3 up save.
Back to 3s, yeah.
1 fail.
1 fail. Good job you did that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
D3 wounds. For 1. It's still alive. We're going to throw a catapult at it. Well, no. The catapult's going to throw some old veg at it. Hitting on a 3. Hits. Wounding on a 2. No. They will not die. And that's all my guns. Oh, no. No, the Warlock's got a gun over here he can shoot in. And that's not going to be a hit. Yeah, that's all my guns. It's going to have to be charges now, I think.
Charge it.
So, charge time. First off, Plague Furnace. Needs an 8 to get it where I want it. That's a 7. I'm going to forward to victory. That's a 6. So that's not going in. It's obviously they're not pushing it anymore. They've run off to do a charge. Speaking of which, they'll charge. They need a 3 to get into something. That's a 5. Are you going to unleash hell?
No, but I'm going to spend my command point from the all-out defense over there, which I forgot to do.
Ah, right, okay. So move those in a second. These guys need... they needed a 7, didn't they? They needed a 7. That's a 4. They don't make it.
Are they going to...
I've spent up. I only had 2. This Plague Priest is going to charge. He doesn't make it either.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Well, 1 unit of Plague Monks made it. That's something. So the Plague Monks make it in, and we start the combat phase. We're going to start over here. The Doom Wheel is desperately going to try and mess up that Dracothian Guard with 1 wound before he turns around and hammer times him good in the face. So first off, how many attacks from the Grinding Wheel? 3. Hitting on 3s and 3s, round 1. 2. 2 saves at -1. That's fine. Yeah, the 4s are a pass, so they're both okay. Then it's 6 attacks with teeth and knives. Hitting on 4s. 4s and 4s for teeth and knives. 1. It got him. But there's a lot of lightning bound up in that fella.
There is. There's even some in the little beast. None of it strikes home.
Not in the end. All go straight up. It's vertical lightning, no horizontal. No. Right, Dracothian Guard is hitting back.
So with the hammer, hitting on 3s.
No, he's not.
So the mount.
So the dragon is also hitting on 3s twice.
1 wound.
1 wound. Rend of 2, was it? Save for 6. Yeah. Maybe I'm just flinging mud up into the air. It's in their eyes.
Just spinning the wheel.
Yeah.
Whatever was fired from the Plague Claw catapult. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, said it.
Yeah. Right.
We're next.
I think the 10 guys in here.
12.
I missed it. I missed that. I think that's okay. 6, 8, 9, 10, and the Claw Lord, the pack leader person. The pack leader, not the Claw Lord. So we hit on 4s. And wound on 4s. 1. Come on. Can I get him? I got him! These are legends!
Blaze of glory! What it takes 1 with him. I mean, it's a minor victory.
I can't believe that's happening. Still, dear God.
Let's go with the Sequitors. No, not the Castigators.
The Castigators.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm assuming they've got 1 attack each.
We should check. So they have 2 attacks each. They hit with the heavy stocks of their crossbow. Basically, they're chinning me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get 2 attacks each.
So 4s to hit.
Yep. 3.
And 3s to wound.
2. Rend?
0.
Do I have a 6? I do have a 6+ save, which I fail. Now, does the Icon of Entropy splash back on you? No, it doesn't. So 2 of those die. Clan Rats have attacked over here. 1 save to take. He's fine. 3 wounds done in return. 3 saves of 5+. 1, 2 die. No, it's Rend 1. 3 died. And the Liberators attack here causing no casualties. And now the Plague Monks. 13 are in range. They have 3 attacks each when they've charged. So 39 attacks plus 1 for the unit champion. 40 attacks hitting on 3s. This many that hit on not 6s. So we'll have AP dash. Wounding on 4s. And then 5 that hit on 6s, which will be Rend 2, not AP. Rend 2, which wound on 4s. So that's 3 Rend 2 and 9 at no rend. 3 saves, run 2. What is their save?
Castigators 4+.
4+. Okay. So 1 pass, 2 go through.
And then how many for the other, sorry?
9.
9. They are dead.
2 wounds each.
They have 2 wounds each.
Okay, that was more. That was exactly 6. Exactly 6 damage.
Blaze
of Glory. That's only 5 dice.
1 wound.
So 1 dies, but does the icon of entropy? Oh, there's no one there to actually injure, so it's okay. And what looks like the last combat is the Sequitors into the Doom Wheel. 3s and 3s.
So 5 attacks. 2 hits.
2. 3 to wound. 2 wounds.
Rend 1.
Rend 1. Didn't you challenge their weapons? Did you roll any 6s to hit?
I don't think so.
Rend 1, 2 saves and 5+. Yes. What is going on with that Doom Wheel? Right. Battle Shock. These guys lost 1. They hold. What a group of legends.
D3 come back though.
D3. Oh my god. 3 come back.
So 15.
So there's not. I need to check the paperwork. There's no 12. They lost 1. They're 10 minus 1, 9 plus 3 back 12. 12. These guys have lost 6. Some got stabbed by and some just got eaten by 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. The bravery is 4. 5 run away. 1 comes back. A net loss of 4. Oh, God. The Plague Monks do not need to take Battle Shock because of the proximity of the furnace. On the Sigmar side, the Demigryph Knights have bravery 6 plus 1 for a standard is 7. They lost 3.
So 5 and 6 will run. 4, they're okay.
They're okay.
And what does the Plague Claw Catapult do with bravery? Is it if it slays a model? Or is it if it hits them? Or what is it?
Well remembered, because we've just checked, and you only have to be targeted by this because it's
filthy.
It's filthy. It's hot. It's really horrid. So 1 died, but it counts as you add 2 to it.
Yep, so that's
and
3.
D6 plus 3 is the bravery 7. So it could. We won't say it runs off. We'll say it dissolves in a pile of goo.
I'm looking over at the command point, and I feel like I really should spend it on keeping him alive.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I would totally spend that on him not running away ignominiously.
Yeah, no, we'll do that.
Yeah, okay. Just out of interest.
Good to know.
Just out of interest.
Okay. Yeah.
Wise, very wise. And there's no one else that needs to test. So, at the end of Skaven round 2, there are all the buildings are still under Skaven control as we go into Sigmar, turn 2. Right, hero phase, relatively brief. As the second in command of the Free Guild Generals generated a command point on a 2+. My guy did not generate one. There wasn't really much else to do. There's no prayers or anything to do, but the Free Guild General has issued the Hold the Line order to 2 of his units and himself. The way that works is he picks 3 units within 18 inches, and if they don't make a normal move or a charge move that turn, they get +1 to hit and +1 to wound. So for units that are staying still this turn, that will affect, but also in my turn, they will be holding the line against me when I attack them. So it's quite a good one to use, that one. So that's generated and then spent. Because this is something of a rout.
So it would seem. But
it's not over yet, no. If you mince through all that lot, you've got some relatively open space behind it to go and kick face. The problem is you're not able to garrison some of the buildings because of the proximity of enemy units.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, right, we're now off to movement. So at the end of the movement phase, the Free Guild General Colonel Richard Beaverton.
Beaverton.
See, Richard is actually his middle name. His parents were quite aspirational for him. His first name is General.
Okay.
So he's General Colonel Richard Beaverton is now marshalling.
He's taking command of the situation.
Indeed.
It has turned into a situation. He's taken command of it.
Indeed. And as those filthy rats are in fact defiling that well, it's a little bit like one of the scenes in Vermintide when you've got to stop them getting in the well.
What are they doing? They're making deposits, unfortunately.
Yes, quite. They're pouring filth into the well. Filth. But they are very much surrounded by general liberators and spiky, pointy people. Then over here, the Demigryph Knights are marshalling for a charge. And the Retributors are living in denial about what those rats are holding and aiming in their direction.
Yep.
And that's all the movement, isn't it?
Yep, so they moved up. The generals moved up. These have lined up for a charge. These have remained stationary. The handgunners have remained stationary, and everything in combat has stayed where it is.
Yeah. Okay. So, where are we starting?
We will start with the crossbowmen.
Okay. Right, the Free Guild crossbows are targeting the Skaven on their elevated position. Now, they didn't move, and they have the reload fire ability, which means they get +1 attack if they haven't moved. They also didn't move, so they get their the hold the line ability to get +1 to hit and +1 to wound. And the unit leader also has +1 to hit. So it's
Lots of pluses,
lots
of
of
hitting.
lots of pluses, lots of hitting. So it's 20 shots, 18 of them are hitting on 3s.
So we'll roll it out.
Yep. And wounding on 2s from hold the line.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11.
No rend, so 11 saves of 6+. Two passed. And 3 are left. And the marksman firing his 2 shots. 2s and 2s. 2 saves of 6. Kills 2 more. Just the guy with the book left.
It's a really good one.
I was going to say, it's a fascinating read. I can see the guys circling around and going, oh, that's a bit of an anticlimax. Right, now the Free Guild handgunners are firing into the garrison building. There's lots of holes in this by this point. There's lots of rats sticking.
They've been taking the bricks out and
throwing slates down from above and so on. So, they hit all 4s normally. +1 to hit for steady aim, which is their ability if there's 10 or more and they stay still. Sorry, stand and shoot. No. Stand and shoot something different. We're
trying to read the code.
No, stand and shoot is they get to unleash hell for free.
Ooh, very nice.
Steady aim is they get +1 to hit if they haven't moved, and there's more than 10 of them. So they're getting a +1 to hit. They're also going to get +1 to hit and +1 to wound from hold the line, but -1 to hit from garrison. So it's going to be +2 to 2+, -1 back down to 3+ to hit.
So 3+ to hit. So 3 misses.
So that's 6 hits.
And then it'll be 2s to wound.
Because of +1 from hold the line.
So that is 5 wounds, rend 1.
Rend 1, okay. So I get +1 save for being in garrison, so it's back to 5s. So 3 die from that.
And then the marksman, hitting on 3s, misses.
Marksman here. Do you know Mark? So the Judicators fired into the clan rats. The plan was to come to you with the saves, but I realised that the Thunderbolt crossbow just bypassed all the saves and 10 had just died straight away. There's 7 in the unit, so they are gone now. So they've gone. Just roll to see if the Stormblast does D3 mortal wounds to the Doom Wheel, which it doesn't.
Surprising, absolutely no one.
The Dracoth probably has a gobful of that, making lightning production problematic.
Yeah, bit of indigestion.
Yes,
possibly.
quite. So, charges?
Judicators charging
The building. Okay.
Don't know what I need, but we'll see after the roll.
Yes. 7.
Maybe
That's enough. I should have mentioned, I forgot to narrate that the endless spell moved again. It moved during the hero phase and did no damage to anyone. But you're moving past it now, so it's going to get another go.
Yeah.
Any 6s? 1. Which kills this guy who'd taken a wound. Which might make all the difference. I mean, it's not going to make that much difference. Right, the Demigryph Knights are now charging. 3 inches.
Oh, +1 from the Hornblower, so 4.
And they have ended up here. They are clearly being used as sacrificial pawns by the paladins, by being put in to take all the gas first. Which, you know, I mean, who am I not to play along? So, unleash hell into the Demigryphs. So, 15 shots, but it's unleashing hell, so it's -1 to hit, so only hitting on 4s rather than 3s. That is not very many hits. That's 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1. -2.
5 up save. No. D3.
For 2. Now the Paladins. The Retributors are charging. Don't roll Snake Eyes.
That's not Snake Eyes.
Jolly good. You're in. So what are we doing next, Joe?
The Free Guard are going to make an attempt to charge.
Okay, the one remaining rat.
5.
That'll
6.
do it. That'll do it. And then the Free Guard General charges. 6 inches, yes. Following his men in. Good-o. Then the Liberators follow in as well. And that's all the charges.
It is.
So, we are on to fighting. Where are we fighting first?
So, to begin with,
Yes.
channeling etheric power into the weapons of the Sacrosanct.
Ah, yes.
And Storm of Annihilation is being declared from the Retributors into the Scryer Acolytes.
Uh-oh. Could we talk about this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What do you have to say?
Your
Complaint has been logged
Please don't.
and duly discarded.
Okay, where are we going first? Do you know?
No.
Okay, thinking time. Okay, so the Demigryph Knights are activating first. One of them is going into the Scryer Acolytes, the other 2 are going into the Plague Monks. We're doing the 1 first, yes?
Yes.
Okay, how many attacks from a lance? 3?
3 from the lance.
Okay, hitting on.
3s.
3s.
2 hits.
2 hits. Wounding on.
4s, I believe. So 1 wound.
But it's extra rend, isn't it?
Yes, rend 2, damage 2.
Rend 2, damage 2. We go straight through their armour and kills 2 of them. Then beaks and talons from the Demigryph.
Yep, 3s and 3s. So 3 and 3, and
Is-
6s to wound.
To wound, right.
Like that
Yes.
is a mortal wound in addition.
Okay, what's the rend?
Rend 1, damage 1.
Okay, well the rend goes straight through, so that's 4 damage.
4 damage.
4 damage. So that one killed 6. I do love Demigryph Knights.
They're great,
I think they're one of the best units in the cities of Sigmar.
They look so traditionally cities of Sigmar, don't
Yeah,
they?
I
They're
know.
beautiful.
Yeah. And they're in all the books as well. Well, not a major part in all the books, but they're always mentioned.
Yeah, they're like part of the pageantry of the entire thing.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So let's go with the Lancers.
Okay.
So 3s and 3s. 3s and 4s, sorry. So that is 2 missed. And then 4s. So that is 2, rend 2.
Well, straight through.
So that's 4 damage.
So that's 4 dead. 4 dead. The icon of entropy. Oh, does a mortal wound back.
Okay. So, whoop. And then the claws and talons.
I need to take through. Okay, I'll take.
Sorry. Claws and talons, 3s
Yep.
and 3s.
Ooh.
So 1 at rend 1.
Okay, that kills 1. Does it come back? No. So 4 die from the Plague Monks. That's 5 Plague Monks killed there. Right, now that's the demigriffs. I need to decide where I'm going. I mean, there's very little point in these guys going into the retributors. I'll get, like, maybe I'll do a wound. The Doom Wheel, is that really going to kill anything? Could maybe have a go with this guy, see if I can strip a couple of models out of one unit, or possibly attack with the garrison.
That would be rude.
It was very funny. Oh, that is totally what I'm going to do. So, 10 rats attacking the Liberators. 1 is a leader, hitting on 4s. 5 hits, wounding on 4s. 4 wounds, 4 saves of 3+. Got 1. 2. Blaze of Glory!
Blaze of Glory!
No! Go, Clan Rats! Now it's the Retributors. 3 attacks each, but the Prime has an extra 1, so 7 attacks. Hitting on 2s because of
Storm of Annihilation.
that's the chap. 6 hits.
Okay.
But that goes straight through to 2 mortal wounds instead. And he's going to wound on 2s.
So that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 dead rats. Get them off the board.
Calm down. Calm down. It is only a game. No, it isn't. I'm lying. God damn it. They're my favourite. My turn to activate, and the Doom Wheel is revving its engine. And by engine, I mean the pack of rats that are driving the wheel. Revving its rats. D6 attacks for the grinding wheel for 5. Deal 3s. Oh, I said to Joe who I was attacking, but I didn't say it on camera. The Sequitors. Then wounding on 3s. 1 save. Rend of 1.
Oh, so damage.
1.
So it tickles him.
Takes a wound off. Okay. I wouldn't call being 50% dead tickled, to be quite honest.
No, quite possibly.
But they also have teeth and knives, which hit on 4s and wound on 4s. 2 more saves of
4+?
4+, yeah. No, killed 1.5.
Blaze of Glory. 1 back.
The Doom Wheel finally takes some damage. And there's a wound on that guy as well. He's got 1 wound remaining. Yes. It has proved quite tricky, actually, garrisoning these buildings, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah. We had not anticipated it being this tricky.
Rats getting in the way
Yes.
is a big issue.
Yes.
Adjudicators are going to try and remove a rat.
Yeah. They've got 3 attacks, haven't they?
Yeah.
Maximum 3 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't kill it.
They can make it not alive a little bit. And they can with that.
They can increase its percentage of deadness.
Only by that if you roll a...
Yeah. Okay, that's done a point of dead, but I'm only 50% dead. So
Only
that's all
50.
right. Only 50%
But we've
dead.
established it's not being tickled.
Well, this is true. Right, the Bringer of the Woe is going to turn around and attack your Free Guild General.
I hadn't contemplated this.
And it just occurred to me now. So, I didn't charge, but I get an extra attack because I'm the Bringer of the Woe. So, 3s... Let me check. I'm doubting myself now. No, the Bringer of Woe does not get an extra attack. It gets the Book of... The Bringer of the Word gets the Book of Woes. There's a lot of woes and word conflation. I'm hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. 1 wound. Fail. Takes a wound. Haha. Takes 3. Well, it's on 3. We hurt him good. Yeah. Kill, man thing. Stupid feather hat. Kill. Throw down where? Yes. The Sequitur Prime is attacking the Doom Wheel.
So hitting on 4s.
Definitely 4s. Definitely not 2s.
So 2 wounds, rend 1.
Saves of 5. Pass 1, fail 1.
2 damage.
2 damage. I think his lucky streak is running out. The Doom Wheel. Let's let the Warlock stab up some of these. Okay, D3 attacks with his Warp Energy Blade. for 2. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 3s. No. That was brief. The Free Guild General is attacking that one remaining Plague Monk.
Book of Woe, be gone.
So the Spyhander on a 6 to hit does a mortal wound, so the rest is irrelevant. He has chopped his head off. Now the Plague Monks are attacking the Debrief Knights. 8 of them, 2 attacks each, 16 attacks. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 4s. So that's 5 regular wounds, and then the 2 that were 6s to hit, and therefore Ren 2, 1 hit. So 1 at Ren 2.
So 5 plus save. No.
Nope.
And then
5 at no rend.
5 at no rend. 3 plus. 2 go through. Kills 1, and then there's a wound on this chappie. Well, there's 4 wounds each, so this has got 2 wounds. Beg your pardon.
So what I should have done was activate the Plague Priest first. Now he's out of activation range. Don't! That's my Homer impression. Now the Concussor. Now, has he cleaned the filth out of his visor and out of the mouth of the Dracolith? Are they going to take down the Doom Wheel?
It's just a game. Get hyped. 3s and 3s.
3 attacks.
2 hits. 2 wounds. Ren 2.
Was that 6 to hit? Did that go through some mortals?
Yes.
Yes, it did. Okay, so 1 save at -2, yeah?
Yep.
Save for 6? Yes. So 2 mortals went through. So
Now,
I've taken 5 damage.
Now the mount. 3s and 3s.
3 hits, 3 wounds?
2 1 wound.
1 wound.
Ren 2 2.
Ren 2 to 2.
2 2.
Save for 6? No. That means I've taken 7 damage. Guess how many wounds I've got?
8.
Yeah.
I've got nothing left. I just need a stiff breeze.
Is that
Talking
everything?
of a stiff breeze, there's a Liberator left to fight over here.
Oh, poor Libby the Liberator.
I'm doing my best, boys. It's 3
3
to
to hit, 4 to wound, yeah. Save
No. -1 to hit because they're in a garrison.
Oh.
4 5 6 and it.
Okay.
Yep. So 1 save at -1.
Right, +1, -1, 5s. No. You got one.
Got one.
So it's Battle Shock time. They lost 4 this turn, so 5 run away, taking them down to 4 remaining, but D3 will come back. 1 comes back, they have 5 remaining. 1 of these died, they can't fail with 1 being dead. They are immune to Battle Shock because they are within 13 inches of that. And I don't have any other routes to take tests. You've mopped up a couple of my big units over here with lots of smashy death smash. Yeah, do you have any Battle Shock to take?
No, these can't fail because they've got a musician.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. They can fail on a 6 because it's the banner that gives the.
And the banner just died, yeah.
No, they are okay.
Okay. So, it must be Battle Round 3.
It is battle round 3.
Okay.
It is priority.
Indeed. Good luck, sir.
Good luck on this one. Skaven have it.
So, I think I've got to go.
I
have to go. Okay, so, hero phase. So, my general attempted to create another command point, and did. The Free Guild General attempted heroic recovery and did not. Obviously, he's got some kind of suppurating wound from that rusty dagger that is really not doing too well for him. The Endless Spell moved and did 2 more wounds to the Judicators. Now we're on to prayers. We're going to go with Pestilence again and aim it here for this one so it catches these 2 units. Cants on a 3, but we get +1 because of Dudar being close. So it's cast. So on a 4+ for Dracoth, Yes. On a 4 plus the Sequitur. Yes. The Dracoth takes 2 mortal wounds. The Sequitur takes 2 mortal wounds. So the Sequitur dies.
Blaze of Glory.
Which might destroy the Doom Wheel.
Come on. Sigmar, watch over me.
So
it adds up to a 6.
Well, quite. Cumulative effect. We are also going to do Pestilence over here because he hasn't realistically got another one he can cast. So it's going to go there on a 2 plus again. Because +1 for the thingy.
And it doesn't affect noble units, does it?
Doesn't affect noble units. So those guys, it's refreshing to us. So against the Retributors, no. Against the Demigryphs, also no. The General is going to cast Filth, or pray for Filth, and cast it on, play it on the monks. Also a 3, but +2. So this will cast on a 2, but also it'll be Great Plague on a 4.
You can re-roll it though.
I can, but I might get a 1.
But you might get a Great Plague.
I might get a Great Plague. I got a rock. No, so it is cast, but no Great Plague. And lastly, we have the Warlock casting spells down here. I wonder how desperate he's feeling. He's not feeling that desperate, so he's just going to do a plain old Warp Lightning, which he needs to roll 2 dice for, Paul, which is cast and does 2 mortal wounds. Killing one of them.
Oh, I forgot to do the Blaze of Glory
for the other one. Okay, so it's 4 Blaze of Glory rolls.
2!
Kills the Warlock. No, he's got 5 wounds. Doesn't kill the Warlock. Sorry, he's got 5 wounds. Sorry.
He's a bit desperate now.
Sorry, yeah. He's very glad he didn't eat that Warpstone sandwich he was just eyeing up. So that's everything hero-wise. Movement. Oh, do I want to reveal it's not necessarily there. Do I want to reveal any of my hidden units? I mean, you have got to come for me to get them. So, and the purpose of what we are doing here is to hide out, and you're trying to exterminate us, and we've laid traps for you.
Definitely.
So, I'm actually not going to get them out. I don't think it's what they do.
Would they have anyone spurring them on? Probably not. One of them has a Claw Lord with them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, does he really care that much?
Well, the thing is, there's 20 meat puppets in front of him that he can feed into the grinder, then slink away and say it was all their fault. Yeah. So why he would remove his ablative wounds from in front of him and go closer to those things?
Yeah, he's probably just watching from the shadows, going, ooh,
yeah.
You know what?
We're going to stay here. In fact, where's the sewer? Where is the sewer grate? Looking for the sewer grate. Find. Run, flee. Movement. Right, shooting phase. Plague Claw Catapult is firing at the halberdier. Oh no, they're not halberdiers. The swordsmen. Sword and board. Hitting on a 2 because there's more than 10 of them. Yes. Wounding on a 2.
Ooh.
Yes. Rend is 2. They have a 4 plus save.
So they get a 6 plus save?
They'll get a 6 plus save unless you all like defending them. In that case, it'll be 5 plus save. It is 2d6 damage. 2d6 damage. Bear in mind, it's a human who's in charge now.
And he's very close to the impact crater. Command point.
So,
you just need to roll a 5, mate.
Need to roll a 5, yeah. That's a 3, bud. I'm sorry. No, but good use of command point, yeah. I mean, I'll probably roll Snake Eyes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. So for those of you who are painting, that's a 12.
God, blimey, mate.
Oh, you're not going to be able to sit down after that.
Sir, I'm not feeling very well.
And 12 die. It landing in the centre and splashing outwards. And ow. Right, well, on the plus side, the Doom Wheel is going to fry a dragon. I mean, it probably won't kill a dragon. But, you see, the Skaven mindset, the pilot is getting more and more desperate. So rather than simply just moving away and realising that how close it is to, to destruction, that I really shouldn't use the incredibly dangerous machine, it's thinking, I need to use the incredibly dangerous machine. So, yeah, we're going to go for 2d6 attacks with Warp Bolts. That's not a double, so 6 attacks. 3s and 3s. And 3s. 2 rend of 1.
4s.
1 pass, 1 fail. D3 damage for 2.
Taken 4.
And I will throw slates at it and bricks on a 5+. No. I'll throw a brick at the Liberator on a 5+. No. Throw a brick at the Retributor on a 5+. No. I've used up all my bricks.
Brick over there.
Oh, I'll throw a brick over here on a 5+. No. Oops. This turn is not the turn for bricks.
Brickage is done.
Indeed. Right, we are doing some charges, though. So, that Plague Priest, 7, makes it in. The Plague Furnace, 5, makes it in. This Plague Priest, 11, makes it in. Makes it in the 2 feet gap in front of him. But makes it in. So, we're going to start the fight phase with this Plague Priest attacking the Retributors. Are you all out defending? I assume you're about to all out defend.
Yeah, I need to keep them alive.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
defense.
Okay. I'm missing on 3s and 4s. Should I all out attack? I really would like to kill them. So yes, I think I will all out attack. I charge, so I get +1 with my attacks on both my weapons. The Warpstone's tipped staff has D3 attacks. For 1, +1 is 2. Hitting on 3s normally, so 2s. Both hit. Wounding on 3s. 1 wounds. Rend of 1. So +1, -1. It's a 3-up save. Yes. Then the 2 attacks with the Plague Sensor becomes 3 attacks. Hitting on 3s. 1. Wounding on a 3. Yeah. Rend of 1. So 3-up again. Yes. Okay. Note to self. They're not very good. Your go. So now we come to the Dracoth over here. The Dracoth is attacking the Doom Wheel and the Rider is attacking the Plague Priest.
So we'll start off with the Dracoth into the Doom Wheel.
Okay.
So 3s and 3s.
2.
2 hits. 2
2.
wounds.
Rend of 2. 2 saves of 6+ required. Yeah, it's fine. No, sorry, I was lying. So the Doom Wheel has been doomed.
And now the hammer.
It's hammer time.
Looking for some 6s. 3s and 3s. No, just the 1. 1 save
2.
and 2.
Okay, takes 2 damage. Out of 5. Now the Plague Furnace will attack. On a 2+, it will use its great Plague Sensor to smash into the Demigryphs. That's a 2+. On its current damage, that's D3 +4 mortal wounds. For 7 mortal wounds.
And it slays them both.
Wow. That is one squashy, crushy, big metal fire green stick ball thing. It's your go.
Okay. I suppose we'd better finish this chap off.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 attacks.
7 attacks.
3s and 3s, but 6s do mortals.
No 6s.
No 6s.
5 hits.
Oh, only 2.
So rend of 2,
Yep.
save of 5 stats, 4 wounds go through. So he has wounds remaining. I think now the Warlock will try and shiv this guy before the inverse happens. The Warlock... Where's the Warlock's card gone? Oh, I should have paused this. He has D3 attacks for 1, hitting on a 4, wounding on a 3, render 1.
No, he takes the damage.
Okay, it's doing 1 damage, so it doesn't kill him.
Is it not D3 damage?
Nope. D3 attacks rather than D3 damage. Right, do you know where you're going?
It's going to have to be that guy back at him, I think.
You could use the Liberator to hit the clan rats.
Before he dies.
Before they... I mean, then they shouldn't kill him.
We say that.
They really shouldn't. They've got to have 6 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s. Statistically, they should do no more than half a wound to him.
So let's go back then. So 3 attacks. 3s and 4s because it's -1 to hit.
Yeah. No. Okay. Whilst we're here.
Get it out, Rod.
Yeah. 5 rats, 1 of them's a champ. 4s. 4s. Save of a 3+. There you go. Statistically, half a wound. Right, where are you going now?
We'll go with the Adjudicator over there.
With his attack?
Hits. Wounds.
No, 3 doesn't hit, -1.
Oh, -1 to hit, is it? Oh, you're in the garrison. We're learning, folks.
Yeah, we are indeed. He can hit the dragon.
He can attempt it.
Yeah, he can. And I've just realised that when you were attacking him, he's -1 to wound him. Never mind. Still learning. It's the first time I've used Pestilence, really. Right, D3 attacks for the warp-tipped staff for 2. For 1, but an extra 1 for charging. 3s to hit. And 3s to wound? 3s to wound. 1 wound. Render 1.
4 up save. Fails.
Fails. Goes through, takes another point of damage. Has got 1 more will kill him. Then 3 attacks with the plague sensor. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 3s. 1 at rend 1. It's an epic fight that's been going on over here. It's a maelstrom. Right, do you know where you're going next?
I don't think there's anything else for me to fight.
Okay. Right, I'm going to pile the Plague Monks into the Retributors then. Right, now activating these Plague Monks. They have 8 of them, 2 attacks each, so they haven't charged this turn. They do have Filth cast on them though, so they will get +1 to wound. So they're going to hit on 4s and wound on 3s. 6s doing the super rend thing. Only 1 of those. Okay, so 1 at rend 2, and these are no... Oh, goodness me. So that's 4 regular saves, and then... No, just the 4 regular saves. You all like defended, so these are 2s.
Would they both succeeded because you had your prayer on them? +1 to wound?
I counted for that.
Oh, okay. So, 4, you say?
Yeah.
So, it's no rend, so 2 plus saves?
2s.
So, 1 goes through, and then 1 at rend 2?
No, that didn't wound.
Okay.
Oh! That did wound because I had the prayer on them. I now see what you were saying. Yes, so that was at rend 2.
So, kills 1?
Yes.
Blaze of Glory? No.
Yes, I now see what you're saying. Having said 10 seconds before, I have this extra rule, I then did not apply it. Yes. That's that's very much my home run swing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm also 95% sure there was an extra one. That's 2+ as well, so I'll just roll that now. No, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Battle Shock? I don't think anyone needs to... You only lost 1 guy over here. So nothing there. I lost a few in that building, didn't I?
You lost 4.
4. And 5 run away. There were only 5 left.
Oh.
So there are not enough to... So now that there's none there, none can come back. They have... To be fair, they've done a grand job.
Yeah,
They're, well done, lads. So a note of jubilation for the remaining Liberator. However, 12 of those were killed, and +2 is applied to it because of the Plague Catapult. Do you have a CP left?
So, no, I do not. They are a base bravery of 5.
Right.
The Free Guild General is nearby with an inspiring presence. Inspiring leader, I think it's called. So, an additional +1.
Yep.
And then, so a Redeemer unit is nearby. For
Yep.
an additional +1.
And does the Musician give them extra bravery, or was that the banner?
It's the banner.
Right, but the banner died.
Yeah, he was in the middle.
He was in Ground Central.
So, I'm going to roll a die.
So, your bravery is currently 5, +2 is 7.
Yeah.
Is it bravery 5 or bravery 6?
So, bravery 5 base.
5 base.
+2 from these two.
+2, so 7.
So 7.
So 12 + 1. Well, 12 that died, +2 for the catapult special rule is 13. +1 is 14.
So 7.
7 run. So 1 does not run away.
This chap on the well.
The one on the well.
Well.
Well, quite. Right, Sigmar, turn 3. So in the hero phase, the general generated a command point and has issued rally to this unit. 19 dice on 6s, they're coming back.
Come on, boys.
We're going to get back to
in
their
the fight.
feet. That's
2.
2. It's more than none.
It is more than none.
Definitely more
some
than
of them
none.
writhing on the floor. They see the banner there, the heraldry of their free guild. Clasps it in one hand, lifts himself up, inspiring one of his brethren to join him back in the fight.
Yes, whilst his skin sloughs off.
Oh yeah.
Now we come over here. My heroic action is going to be to attempt heroic recovery with a warlock. I mean, I need a 5 or less. So, no, that's a fail, unsurprisingly. However, I am going to steer the Tide of Vermin back over here. And maybe nibble Adjudicator. Just need 1/6 to kill him. There we go. 2 mortal wounds. But he's in a blaze of glory. Just needs 1/6 to kill a warlock. And he kills the warlock. But interestingly, now that endless spell is uncontrolled. So what that effectively means is I now need to read another page of the rulebook. Right, end of the movement phase. Joe, talk me through your movement, sir.
Okay, so the crossbowmen that were here have moved and then garrisoned this piece of terrain.
So that is a point.
We've cleared it of all of Skaven.
It is cleared. 1 cleared building.
The Liberator over here has garrisoned that building.
And cleared it.
Cleared it.
You need one more for a minor victory.
Oh, can we do it? Then the newly rallied Free Guild Guard have started heading towards the fray, being backed up by the Liberators. The Retributor in combat has stayed put. The Concussor has stayed put. The Free Guild, Pistoliers, they have stayed still, and the Marksman has turned on a swivel. He's exactly 30 inches away from this Plague Priest.
And they can pick out targets. They ignore the lookout, sir.
Yes, they do.
They do.
He picks out the biggest, nastiest looking rat in the pack. That's the movement.
One's still missed, though. Just saying.
Yeah, don't roll ones.
But yeah, that's your usual battle plan.
Try to.
Don't roll ones.
Yeah. Don't be good at the game. Just roll better than your opponent.
Yeah. So, shooting, where are we starting?
We'll start with the Concussor. On a 4+.
Yep. Lightning for D3.
For 3.
For 3. Frazzle Dazzle Dead Priest.
Oh, I thought it was something.
So, now we're going to the Marksman. So
the Marksman hits on a 4+ normally. He stayed stationary, so he gets +1 to hit, and he ignores the lookout cerebrals.
So he's a 3.
So he's hitting on a 3. So just roll a 3. That's
a 3.
He wounds on a 3. It's not a wound.
It's a 1. Yeah. Well, I thought your plan was to just not roll 1s.
Well, sometimes your plan doesn't survive first contact with the enemy.
Well, quite.
Evidently.
Yes, quite.
I'm just going to have to follow up with all of these crossbowmen
Okay, where are they targeting? They've got a choice of targets there.
Yeah, I feel like I have to clear out the Plague Monks.
Right.
So they're all going to go into the Plague Monks.
Fair enough. So the catapults, the crossbows, all firing into the Plague Monks. Hitting on 4s for the marksman will hit on an extra 1, but we'll do that separately.
4s.
And then 3s to wound.
3s to wound. So that is 4 wounds.
Rend.
Nothing.
Saves of 6. 3 die.
And then the marksman. Hits. Wounds.
Rend.
No rend.
Save of 6. No, 4 die in total. That's shooting done. Charge time.
Okay.
What is charging where?
The Free Guild Guard are going to charge.
Okay.
With an 8.
They make it. Wherever they're going. Well, they I say they make it. I don't know where you're putting them. But, yeah, an 8. Then the Free Guild General. It's a 5. Is he going into the furnace? He's going into the furnace. But he's taking his injuries with him.
Probably sustaining more momentarily.
And the Liberators.
Yep.
An 8. They get to liberate something as well. Right, Joe is activating the Retributors first. Targeting Storm of Annihilation on the Plague Monks, but putting one of his attacks into the Plague Priest to try and kill the lot of them. So, into the Plague Monks.
Yep. So it's going to be 2s to hit,
Yep.
3s to wound, because they're -1 to wound, aren't they?
They are -1 to wound, yes.
So, hitting on 2s.
Oh, hang on. No, they're not -1 to wound. Roll it and see if you get any 2s, then we'll check.
Okay. So we get a 2.
Yeah, the Plague Priest and the Plague Censer Bearers and the big Plague Furnace are -1 to wound, but not the monks. So that's
2 at rend 2, 2 damage.
2 around 2 to damage. That's 4 wounds, kills them all. Okay, then 1 into the Plague Priest.
1 into the Plague Priest. 3s
Threes
and
to hit.
4s. No misses.
Right, okay. So the Plague Monks have died. So now my turn to activate. I'm going to activate the Plague Priest on Plague Furnace. I'm going to all-out attack with my command point. I'm going to put the Great Plague Censer, the Fetid Blades and the Rusky Spikes into the Liberators. And I'm going to put the Warpstone Tipped Staff into the Free Guild General.
We're waiting for this one.
Okay, so the Plague Censer on a 2+. Yes, we'll do D3 plus 4 mortal wounds for 5 mortal wounds.
Okay, so I'll kill 2 and put a wound on
On
another.
one?
So
Yeah.
Blaze of Glory. For 1 mortal
So
wound.
that's a wound. I'll move that in a second. Right, we've got 6 Fetid Blades on the what are Fetid Blades? 3s and 4s and dash. 3s, 4s, 3 there at AP dash. So 3 up saves.
Kills another.
And puts the wound over. Blaze of Glory.
1 more.
Yes, 1 more wound. He's got a ward save of 5+, which he doesn't make. And then Rusty Spikes on my current damage. I have 6, and they're 3s and 3s, -1. One at -1.
So 4 up.
Nope, kills that guy.
Yep, and then
And Blaze.
These were the reinforcement. They're still charged with Azurite Lightning.
I ward saved that one.
Scratch that.
Supercharged. Then we have D3 attacks with the Warpstone tipped staff. I said I was all out attacking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't count it.
Oh, great.
But I'll count it now.
Okay.
D3, 2. So hitting on 2s. None of those are a 6. Winning on a 3. Yes, -1.
5 up save. That was a bit excessive. Ooh.
Yeah, it was a bit excessive, but that's the thing with these game mats is dice bounce. Now there is a thing because of his Warlord trait, but I think that's the end of the combat phase. Warlord trait, command trait. Command trait. Okay, where are we going next? Or is that actually it?
No, the Free Guild General.
Right.
With his Zweihander, decapitating strike, so 3 attacks hitting on 3s. Wounding on 4s because you're -1 to wound.
Yes.
So 1 wound. Rend 2.
Save for 6. No.
D3 damage. For 3.
Ward of 5. So take an extra wound. Is that the end of the combat phase?
This is the end of the combat phase.
So at the end of the combat phase, my command trait ridden with poxes, roll a d6 for each enemy unit within 3 inches at the end of the combat phase. On a 4+, the unit takes d3 mortal wounds. So the Liberator is affected and takes 1 mortal wound, so it doesn't kill him. The General is affected and takes 1 mortal wound. How many is he on now?
He's gone on 4. He has a wound remaining.
So he's got 5. Okay, so... Is that the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Priority roll for about round 4. You win 1.
Make a grown man cry.
Are you going first?
Yes.
Good out. Good out. So we're at the end of the movement phase. In the hero phase, a command point was generated by the Free Guild General, and it's the Plague Furnace's finest hour. Then there has been lots of movement and garrisoning. So the Liberator has hopped into this building and garrisoned this one. The Free Guild handgunners ran down, so climbed down. They maybe had ropes and stuff and climbed down and then ran in and garrisoned this building. They didn't actually need to garrison it to take it. They don't have to have it at the end of the game. It's been purified of Skaven, but it's some really good shooty vantage points, so they're taking advantage of that. And then over here, the 3 remaining 3 guild swordsmen, the ones that weren't brutally murdered, that absolutely passed the presence of the Stormcast next to them, kept that one guy hanging on, who then rallied his friends, and they've run up here and garrisoned that building. So in the space of a turn, it's gone from only 1 garrison building to 4 buildings have been cleared. That is officially a minor victory as it stands.
But at such a great cost.
Well, that's why it's minor.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. However, there is more to go. The Dracoth has come over here, clearly intent on dismantling that Skaven contraption.
Absolutely.
The Endless Spell is sort of swarming over here, just looking for anything to nibble on. That was it, wasn't it?
It was.
Okay, shooting.
Stormblast.
Yep.
D3 mortal wounds on the Plague Furnace. For 2.
For 2, ward saves. 1 pass, 1 fail, up to 4 damage taken.
Okay, and then all of the crossbowmen into the Plague Priest. So hitting on 3s because they stay still.
You get an extra attack as well because there's 10. Just roll those ones and let's see if you kill it. They've got 1 wound left.
Okay. 2, 5.
Okay, 5 at no rend. Save of 5+. 1, 2 get through it. Only had 1 wound left, so it is thoroughly peppered like a mackerel. Right, we're now in the charge phase. Both the Retributor and the Concussor are going to charge the Plague Furnace.
So the Concussor.
12. Yes, he's keen.
And the Retributor. 7.
Also keen.
So I'd imagine 2 staunch allies performing a pincer maneuver. Let's hope it goes well for them.
Yeah, limping through, leaving a blood trail, and yeah, okay.
Probably inspired from the bravery of the Free Guild.
Or shamed.
Or shamed.
You know.
No, that's this chap over there that's probably feeling great shame. He's ducking his head down.
If it wasn't your model, I would have flicked him off at that point.
Go on. Sit in your room.
Okay, you've got 4 units there. Which is going first?
Okay, so Joe wants to do with the Concussor first, but I think the Free Guild General deserves one last blow before he goes down.
Okay, because I got 4 weapons, I'm going to put 1 on each unit. Because they've all got 1 wound left apart from the Retributor. Who's going to get a flail of the face?
It's got to be the Concussor.
Okay.
It's got to be the Concussor.
Got to be the Concussor?
Got to be.
Okay.
So the hammer.
All out defense.
Oh, he's also...
It's also my finest tower.
Mortal wounds, it doesn't matter. So hitting on 3s.
So 2 mortal wounds.
Yep. Ward save.
Ward saves. Yeah, we're fine.
Forced to wound. It's... And the Draco. And the Draco. 2 at Rend 2.
2 at Rend 2. Okay. Base saves 4, +1 for finest hour, +1 for art defense.
So
That is back to 4s. Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
That's what you were doing all day over
Yeah,
there.
it was.
Oh, it's my
It's your turn
go! Yeah. Okay, so the Great Plague Sensor is going into the Retributor. The Warpstone Tipped Staff is going into the Free Guild General because it's just funny. The Fetid Blades will go into... Who's the next one round?
Liberator?
Will go into the Liberator. And the Rusty Spikes will go into the Dracoth. So I am due to fail one of these. On a 2+, the sensor hits the Retributor. I am due to fail one. So I failed one. The Warpstone Tipped Staff, 3 attacks. D3 attacks, I should say. We really want a big 6 here.
Yeah, go on. Yeah,
Yes, okay. So that becomes Rend 3 and 6 damage. But that was a 3 as well, so that was a hit. So that I need to roll them both to wounds. So the big one wounds on a 3. Yes, this one wounds on that. So he's got 1 at Rend 1 to take.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, let's do that. He's dead.
Okay. And 1 at Rend 3 that does 6 damage.
He is no longer a memory.
Okay. He's a puddle. Then we have the Fetid Blades. Hitting on 3s.
Good roll.
Wounding on 4s. 3 saves of 3+ on the Retributor. The Liberator, sorry.
He passes all 3.
He passes all 3 and survives. Okay. Then we have Rusty Spikes into the Concussor. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. 3 at Rend 1.
4+.
Fails 2. He dies.
And does he go up in a blaze of glory? He does. 2 mortals.
One gets through. So now you've got... So I killed one of the units that hadn't fought yet.
Yep. We'll do the Retributor.
Yep.
That's 4 mortal wounds.
3 mortal wounds.
So
I've taken 8.
And 4's 2 wound. So no more wounds.
Was that counting the -1 to wound me?
It was.
Well done, because I didn't remember it.
And the Liberator. 3s and 5s.
Yep.
1 wound at Rend 1.
Yep, we're fine. Because of the 2+. Okay, so I'm quite degraded now.
However, you are filled with pox, I believe, at the end of combat.
Yes, I am indeed. I am ridden with poxes. So on a 4+, the Liberator takes D3 mortal wounds, which 2.
You blaze of glory.
Yeah, go on. You'd be saving them all for this. I don't ward save it, so I've taken 11 damage. Jeez. And then on a 4+, the Retributor, no. Oh, to have done 3 mortal wounds to him, that would have been awesome. Is it my turn 4?
I think so.
Right, my turn 4. Oh, God, what am I going to do? So, it's the Skaven hero phase in turn 4. And the Skaven units have been revealed, occupying this building with clan rats and the Rattling Gun, and that building with clan rats and the Claw Lord. Heroic action, create a command point, but there are no heroes in the Sigmar army at the moment. The Retributor Prime taking command of what's left. But we're going to attempt to do a plague, a prayer. We're going to go for pestilence, try and do some mortal wounds. On a 4, there's no pluses to that because you've killed them with priests.
Yep, they've gone.
So that is just, D3 on a 4 plus. No, so no mortal wounds taken there. So that's all good. There's no other hero phase stuff. So we're straight into movement. Nothing's moving. There is no movement, literally. Oh, the endless spells moved this way a little bit, but that's fine. Not close enough to nibble anyone. I haven't got any units to move. I'm not taking them out of these buildings. I just want to use the rattling gun on him.
I think we all do, actually.
Yes. I mean, he deserves it. So the plague catapult, I haven't got anyone to issue an all-out attack, so it's just going to... I'm going to throw it at this guy, because the plague furnace loves the filth. So it's going to fire over there. On a 3. No. It's nice and quick. Right, the rattling gun. So the rattling gun normally has 2d6 plus 3 attacks. However, if you release the gimbal limiter, then it becomes 4d6. But any doubles, it's destroyed at the end. I mean, I am totally doing that. Oh, it's a double 2. So it's dead. However, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, plus 3, 18 shots at the Liberator.
Is it all out attacking as well?
No one to issue the command. I did think of it, but...
Is there not a leader in the clan rat unit?
It's not a member of the clan rat unit. It's a separate unit once it's deployed.
Okay.
We're fudging it a little bit with the garrisons, but no, there's no one there to do that. 12, 16, 17, 18. Hitting on 5 with -1 because you're in a garrison.
I think we're all Skaven on that roll.
Woo! 4's to wound. Right, rend of 1, but +1 to your save because you're in a garrison. So +1, -1. It's 5 saves of 3 plus. You fail 1. It lives. Right, no charges. Combat. Yeah, combat.
Yeah, combat, I think.
Okay, on a 2 plus. For how damaged is the cat? It's taken 11 damage. So on 11, it's D3 plus 2 mortal wounds.
Ah, it's got him.
For 4.
For Blaze of Glory.
No, not this time. And that's the end of Skaven turn 4. Priority roll?
Yes, priority.
You've had your turn 4, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah. Right, I'll go next.
I thought you might.
Yeah. So, hero phase. I've done heroic recovery with the plague furnace and got 3 wounds back. Joe's used one of his command points to try and rally this unit, but didn't get any successes. I'm going to attempt pestilence to try and get some plaguiness onto this building. No. I can reroll. Still no.
We're running out of plague.
Yes, indeed. But I do get to move the endless spell 7 inches. That's less than 7 inches as they scurry through that building, and I get to roll them for the inhabitants. 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4. They get eaten.
Nom nom nom.
Nom 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 nom. So they died. We've just done the movement phase. The plague furnace has rolled forward a couple of inches. Oh no, he's less bracketed now. He can go forward an extra inch. Dun-dun. So he's 3 inches away. The Plague Claw catapult will fire at that building, which has 10 crossbowmen in.
All our defense.
I mean, fair.
Duck and cover.
Fair. It's fair. It's fair. So would hit on a 3. There's 10 of them, so it's going to hit on a 2. However, you're garrisoned, so it's back to a 3. That'd be a 1. That's it for the shooting. It must be the charge phase. You're staying put. You're staying put. You're still staying put. But the Plague Furnace is going to charge that building. Which it does. Or something like that.
Unleash hell.
Okay. Unleash your way. So, Unleashing Hell. Unfortunately, the reload ability doesn't give you the extra attacks if there's an enemy within 3 inches, which there now is. So, it's only 10 attacks, 9 of which are going to hit on 5s because of -1.
Ooh.
That's 5. There was 5, mate. You took another one. Roll one more. Okay, is it 4s you were wounding on?
I believe so. 3s. It was 3s, so it's 4.
Okay, saving on 4s. So 1 goes through. Ward save, no. Take a wound.
And the marksman hits on 1 better, which hits and doesn't wound.
Okay, now we will. So on 9 damage, on a 2+ for Plague Sensor, we'll do D3 plus 3 for 5. Kills 5. The Warpstone Tipped Staff, D3 attacks for 1, hitting on. It's not a 6. Wounds, -1 plus 1.
Was that you include the -1 to hit?
No.
I don't know.
I can't remember. And it isn't -1 plus 1. It's just +1. That's the thing. Fetid Blades. Hitting on 4s because of the minus. 3. Wounding on 4s. No. Then 5 attacks of this damage level with the Rusty Spikes. Hitting on 3s but -1, so 4s. Wounding on 3s. Yep, wounding on 3s, so 2 saves at -1 but also +1. I think they have a 6 up naturally.
They have a 6 up, yep, so 2
kills
more.
2 more. So how many is that?
That is 3, 4, 7.
Okay, so there's 3 attacks back. 5s and 5s.
5 and 6s
5s and 6s. Oh, because -1.
to wound.
So 6s and 5s. -1 to hit.
No, it's
And then-
-1 to wound.
Oh, yeah, so it's 6s and 6s.
Why is it -1 to hit?
Because I'm
Not garrison.
in a garrison. Okay, yeah, fine.
Irrelevant.
Look, it's very late. Well, it's 9:30,
Yeah.
which is fairly late for a... Is
Early
it
start.
Sunday?
I think so.
Yeah, it
Yes.
might be. I don't know.
It's a school night.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Bravery. Battle shock.
Oh, yes.
1.
+7 is 8.
+9. +2 from the catapult.
Oh, yes. They've gone.
They've decided they've had enough. They're going home.
Better part of Valor. There's no one around to order them not to. There's literally 1 Stormcast and some guys over there. Your go. So we are at a turn summary of turn 5, and Joe has decided that the Liberator is not going to force the handgunners to jump down the gullet of death, and told them to stay where they are, fortify the position they've got, whilst reinforcements are sent to arrive. However, the reinforcements will never arrive, because it is at this point that the horns are sounded and the Horde has been sighted on the horizon. So, maybe not. Maybe.
Let's be the reinforcements.
Let's be some reinforcements. Yes, to the wall. So, a minor victory for the forces of Sigmar. They have they have bled the Skaven here. There are dregs of the Skaven left. However, those dregs will go to ground and they will prove a nuisance. Whilst they're fighting Oryx in the street, these Skaven will be the unknown foes coming up from cellars and taking out emplaced traps. They will be a nuisance and a thorn in the side, but nothing like the threat that they would otherwise have been. And the cost in terms of military units at this point has been prohibitive. But whilst this battle was raging, the wider situation in Excelsis, as the horde draws near or comes to its borders. Where the elves went out in daylight, they did so in strength, for a single elf abroad in Excelsis was all but an incitement to riot. Word had spread throughout the various elven subcultures about the city turning upon them, and with wanderers and Order Serpentis agents forsaking the city as well as the privateers, the metropolis lost much of its awareness of events unfolding in the wider heartlands, only the Darkland Covens staying behind in any measure of force, for their sorcerous rulers had invested heavily in the forbidding spire of the citadel of Tenebris. Even that darksome tower found itself assailed by chanting mobs at times. When rumours reached the city that Marathi had taken Avelgard in Akshi by using her influence over the Darkling Covens to pull a massive military coup, the hostility became even more overt, and even the threat of greenskin invasion could not quell it. It looked very much like the citadel of Tenebris would become subject to a siege within a siege. The city's defences were by no means limited to the physical. Operating under armed guards, the Collegiate Arcanum had gone to great lengths to enchant the main gates, placing runes of sanctity and strength across every stanchion and length of lumber involved in their reinforcement. All agreed that if the Oryx were to concentrate their assault anywhere, it would be there, and the vanguard riders of the Astral Templars had spoken not only of entire families of lumbering gargants amongst the greenskin horde, but also of a battering ram of surpassing size that could break even a Stormkeep into rubble. Potent enchantments were inscribed on cannonballs and hellstorm rockets. Thrice-breast bullets were handed out amongst the Free Guild and Ironwell marksmen alike, and every morning the city's plazas rang to the sound of the fervent Sigmarite prayer. It was the White Reaper, however, who had secured the city's most powerful arcane defence of all. His message, sent by the Star Eagle Brightclaw through the Varatinia portal to Chamon's Spiral Crux, had reached Gardas Steelsoul of the Hallowed Knights. The Lord Celestant had thought long on how best to communicate Stennis' plea for arcane reinforcement to the ancient being he had won to his cause in the battle against the demon Be'lakor. He had not realised that simply meditating on the nature of the creature opened an astral link of sorts with its consciousness, for Gardas had been marked as a fulcrum of fate in the great plan. The Slann, known as Lord Croak, appeared to him in a dream that night. Though he did not speak, he left him in no doubt that his message was received, and that it was one of the gravest importance that the course of fate be altered. An ancient nemesis had been freed, and through the Slann's own magic had held it at bay for eons. That time was over. Soon the only option would be to confront it head on. Worse still, the Slann's divinations had revealed a brand new threat to the mortal realms, making its play for Excelsis, a hidden canker at the heart of Crystalfall. There was not time enough to muster the Seraphon from Mectospar. Lord Croak would have to intervene directly for the first time in many, many years. As the banners of the Greenskin Horde appeared on the horizon, the embassy of the Seraphon in Excelsis was lit by a blaze of crackling celestial energy. From nowhere, Lord Croak appeared from above the Serpentanis, and though he came alone, there was much excitement among the humble skinks of that mysterious pyramid. Hidden by his own enchantments and the shielding magic of his palanquin, Croak remained anonymous and invisible to the city at large, secretly placing his own runes of protection on the city gates and working subtle geomantic spells to calm the land for the mayhem to come. The sudden clangour of celebration in Serpentis was remarked upon only as idle gossip by its neighbours. None paid it much heed, none at least, save Dorelia Vendensk. Returning to the pyramid in the dead of night, Dorelia sought the counsel from the same star priest that had imparted its visions to her during her last visit. It reassured her that a great and beneficent force had arrived in the city, and that all would be well. Preparation rather than exodus was key, and the coming storm would blow itself out. What it did not say was that its new master had deemed the death of Excelsis an acceptable loss, its demise a price worth paying if the end of empires could be occupied long enough for the realm gates of the Gurish heartlands to be sealed by Seraphon artifice, thereby confining the destructive, vengeful god to the realm of beasts, rather than risking it threatening Azir. Excelsis was still reeling from the suddenness of the Skaven invasion when the banners of Godrak's horde appeared on the horizon. The city defenders were already stretched, and with their navy halved at a stroke, the metropolis's claims of strength were paper-thin. Only in unity could it possibly hope to survive. Dun dun dun. Oh,
good luck.
Scary times.
Very
Scary times
so.
for Excelsis. So that's what's coming. And the horde has appeared on the horizon. Just whilst the city is reeling from Skaven, hiring mercenaries left, right and centre, trying to rebuild. But they're here. And a mysterious Slan priest is apparently willing to sell them up the river.
Yep. Your death will buy the future for others. Thanks for that.
for other lizards. Yeah, okay. Cheers.
Some of you may die, but that is the price he's willing to pay.
You are quite. So, that's the wider plot. Back to today. What do you make of this game? How did you find it?
What a bloodbath.
Absolutely.
We were saying earlier on, 4 hours ago, we had no room for all the models. And then, fast forward to turn 3 and 4.
Yeah. 1, 2, an endless spell, and a couple of garrisons, which have only just appeared, which is why they're not dead. And you've got a Stormcast and 10 handguns. Mm-hmm. Goodness me, that was a meat grinder. A lot of fun, though.
Yeah, but ridiculous fun, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I had got quite worried halfway through that the scenario we'd come up with was actually not particularly achievable because you weren't making much progress. Yeah. But I think some of that comes down to the fact that I got the initiative in the first turn and I got to come to you and hold you up outside. Yeah. And I was able to keep you out of the garrisons for a few turns, but then you still just about had enough units to get them, because the way the game ends, 1, 2, 3, 4 have been emptied. You don't have to still hold them, you just have to have cleared them of Skaven, and 4 have been cleared. Minor victory. We still have 3 in the heartland of our territory on this side of the river. You haven't made many inroads. No. The adjudicators, I think with hindsight, I'd have maybe kept those on your side and used them to shoot things.
It was a risk. I feel like if I got the second turn, I think they would have made a bigger impact in the game instead of getting tied up. But it's a dice game at the end of the day. Right? So I think with the double turn, I think that was the biggest decider. But still, it was such good fun to play out and trying to adapt to it, and it's so much good fun playing with and watching, just seeing the spikes and the dice roll, the 12 more damage from the catapult, the Great Plagues absolutely ripping through the
and then taking out the Lord Relictor in one go. The Doom Wheel that would not die, that then just fell apart like firewood.
The little Doom Wheel that could.
Yes.
They're the moments you play for, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was great fun.
Yeah, and the liberator that's almost brought shame to his chamber. But again, that's also a dice game.
Yeah, this is true.
Naff.
Yeah, I mean...
But they're fine, though.
It's the four... When you compare them to the more recent Stormcast battle line troops, they hit on 3s and wound on 3s.
Yeah.
Some of the earlier stuff from the earlier books, they hit on 3s and wound on 4s. And that was more standard, I think, in the early days. But now they're sort of behind the curve. That said, they have abilities that just couldn't be used because Lalo the Tyrant was not appropriate, it was not useful in this scenario. So, yeah, it's like you say, it's a mixed bag, isn't it? And that's what you expect.
Their other ability that helps buff, the cities of Sigmar nearby, came in clutch in this game.
That kept that unit alive, which got them to go to there, which got them to come and claim that unit. That took one of the objectives because of that. Yeah. So no, it was a lot of fun, a lot of swinging backwards and forwards, and I cannot believe how little is left at the end of the game after all of that. And on that happy note, thank you once again for coming down and playing. It was much appreciated.
Thanks for having me.
If you've enjoyed this video and you want to support me, you check out the description of the video. There's a bunch of ways in there that say how to do that if that's something you want to do, like joining our hobby patron community or other stuff like that. Check it out if you are interested in doing that. But I just hope you enjoyed watching the video. Chances are you probably have done if you get this far. Yeah.
Well done to you.
Yes, quite. And on that note, we will see you in the next one. So until then, say bye, Morton Joe.
Bye, Morton Joe.
Bye.
Bye.